You've eaten Gotham's wealth, its spirit, but your feast is nearly over.
This isn't a blood hole. It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon. Why aren't you laughing?
From this moment on, none of you are safe.
Welcome to the Batman Book Club, a podcast exploring the Dark Knight Library. I'm your host, Ryan Lauer. The Batman Book Club is a proud member of the Batman Podcast Network, hosted by Batman on Film. Just go to batmanonfilm.com. Click on podcasts and you'll find the Batman Podcast Network that has a whole list of other Bat-related shows that also like to dive into other nerdy subjects that all of us love to frolic about in our free time. And you know who spearheads the frolicking? Batman Book Club is also on Patreon. If you like what's going on with the show and you want to help support the show, keep the generators running in the Wayne Manor study, please just go to patreon.com/thebatmanbc. Now, thank you for listening to episode 253. First time reading The Long Halloween. There are 11 months out of the year where it's a good time to revisit The Long Halloween, but there is 1 month where it is a great time to revisit The Long Halloween. And this is a great time for multiple reasons to revisit The Long Halloween, because I have two guests on this show. First up, he's doing overtime. He did overtime last month. He's doing overtime this month. You know him. He frolics. He's Italian. He does a lot of reading. He does the work for this show. It's Peter Arvera. Peter. Hey, Pete.
Hello, Lauer. How are you? I'm back again.
You're back.
Yeah, this is different. No recaps.
No recaps.
Absolute Batman.
Second, you're creating a habit here because you did this last month.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm
Listen,
back.
Pete's very subdued. He's like, hey, what's up? I'm
Yeah,
Pete.
I'm just.
When it's not
I'm
wrap up month,
just,
I'm chill. What's up?
I'm just an observer today.
He's just an observer today. Okay. He wants to be in on this. Okay. He wants to witness me talk to our other guest because our other guest has close ties. He's got all the dirt on Peter Arvera. He was on this show a year ago. Actually, it was almost like to the day. It was last October. It's our mutual pal here, Andy Luca. Andy, thanks for coming back onto this here podcast.
Oh, my pleasure. I thought I'd never be on here ever again, but I just thought like, okay, you got
Lauer's finding reasons to reread The Long Halloween. That's exactly what this is.
and I am all here for it. Peter, I thought you were gonna do your Mad Dog intro. So you complete opposite.
No, this is Ryan's show. This is not my show. I'm the guest.
Yeah,
He has good manners on this show. I've heard him on Straight Outta Gotham. He is
he's a wild man.
He's a very polite boy on this show. And
Holzman gets me fired up, man. I get all
that's true.
I just get all that schnitzel in my schnitzel and I just start rolling.
Absolutely. I understand. Yeah. You get all on edge around Holzman because he's just unpredictable.
Yeah, Eric Francesa.
Yeah, there you go.
So, Andy, you didn't think you were going to be back on the show, but I thought it would be a great opportunity for you to be back on this show because last time you were on a year ago, you are not a massive, avid comic book reader. And sometimes, it is good to step out of your bubble. I constantly have people on here that read comics, sometimes write comics, sometimes draw comics, people who are really into the comic book corner, so to speak. So sometimes it's refreshing. Hey, let's go to a more an outsider of reading comics. Not saying you haven't read any, but you don't dabble too much reading the comics. And so it's like, well, I picked your brain last year on year one because your friend there, Peter, got you year one, and you said, this is a good excuse for me to read year one. And it was really fun to pick your brain on things that you may have seen from the book, influenced certain parts of Batman movies and such. Well, the perfect follow-up to that is The Long Halloween. You've been aware of The Long Halloween. I think
from you.
Yeah, from me?
Yeah.
I didn't know I talked about it that much.
No, I remember I feel like during lockdown, it just came up a lot as like a joke. Half the time as a joke because you love it so much. Another half the time just because of its I don't know, because it's how important it is.
It's greatness.
Yeah, it's greatness, I guess. Yeah, I feel I just feel like for someone who's read too much comic books, I just feel like a poser saying anything. But no, it's. I mean, I can't wait to talk about it because I have a lot of opinions. But yeah, no, it's. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
We've got somebody who has read it for the first time, somebody who's a fan, and then somebody who's a fanatic. So I think it's we've got a good trifecta here to talk all about it. So let's go ahead and let's talk about Batman: The Long Halloween. Now, I don't need to refresh anyone, but I will, about certain details of this story. The Batman: The Long Halloween, a 13 issue, series that came out in 1996 and 1997, written by the great Jeff Loeb with art by the lovely Tim Sale, RIP. It's been released. I'm not going to list every single version that this book has been reprinted and released, but I'll say that I have most of them. Including the latest one, the DC Compact Comics edition that I just got, because why not? Pete, I got to inform Pete about the DC Compact Comics line. Yeah, it's come out in every single version that you can imagine, and I almost have them all because I love them. So let me ask both of you two. Pete, what version or versions do you have, or did you read in prep for this, or did you not have to read because you know it so well?
Well, I have my just regular trade on hand. Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. The one in your hand is the one that I first got. That was my exposure to the Long Halloween. Although I can't remember if mine's the non-colored version or the colored version. Can't remember. But you also have the absolute version, right? The absolute.
Oh, I have several versions of it. Yeah, I have.
Oh, but the one right now you have in your hand. Okay.
Yeah, I just this was actually the closest one. I'm just gonna pick this one off the shelf here.
Gotcha. All right, Andy, what version do you have that you read for this?
Well, my birthday is early September, and for actually you planted the seed just in time, like a week and a half before my birthday. You mentioned that, and then I mentioned to Peter, and Peter made a smart move, very conveniently got it for me, so I did do it for myself. But I'm actually gonna have Peter answer that question. Which version did you get for me, Peter?
I got you a trade. It was just a regular trade. I don't know when it was published.
Okay.
I don't know what version.
I have it right. Should I pull it up show it to Lauer, and you can probably answer it?
Does it look like? Does the cover look like this?
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Of like Batman riding. Okay, he's gonna go get it.
I'm not sure. I think it definitely looks different than mine. I'm trying to think when.
There he goes. All right, there you go. All right, so that's like a recent trade paperback collection of it.
It's Christopher Nolan's and Christopher Nolan's in it, or it's in the beginning. He tied little.
Oh, Nolan. Oh,
yeah, which will come up later, no doubt in my mind.
What?
Did you know there was a lot of Nolan? Did you know there was a lot of Long Halloween in the Nolan stuff?
You know, it's funny. I definitely knew I remember I could have sworn either from listening to BOF or Matt Reeves in an interview. I definitely know in the Batman, I definitely heard like, oh, look, pull a little Long Halloween. And at that point, I already, I probably first heard of Long Halloween about 5 years ago during like lockdown.
Okay.
So then, 2 years later when the Batman came out, they're doing press junkets and stuff. I could have sworn, I'm pretty sure just off memory. Yeah, I could have sworn Reeves brought it up or someone else did, or you guys. I just remember it coming. So I off the top of my head, before reading it, I mean, at this point, I think I probably knew, but I before going into it, actually, when you bought it for me, I think I even asked you. I think I said, "Oh, is this like a big influence for the Batman?" You said a little bit. You're like more so Dark Knight. And I was like, "Oh, interesting." So so yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that may have been the greatest gift a friend could get another friend. So well done, Peter. He just wants to make sure people are reading important literature. I want to ask, before I get into your thoughts on it, Andy, Pete, what's your history with the Long Halloween? Now, I did discuss this book with, we've already talked about him, Eric Holzman, way back in 2020, episode 2 of the Batman Book Club, 251 episodes ago. I talked about this book.
Now, I've read 2 comic books, and he's read 3, right?
Maybe 2.5.
Okay.
He started one and then just got distracted. He's a busy man.
He's really
he was like, he's like, Knicks are playing.
Knicks are playing. I gotta watch that. And then the whole Trudy thing. But listen to Straight Outta Gotham. That's the plug for Straight Outta Gotham.
Sure.
You'll hear all about it. So, anyways, Pete, what's your history with the Long Halloween?
I mean, I don't know. Loved it since I first read it.
Which was when?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Honestly, I mean, the first time I bought it physically I was in college, like complete, So actually, Luca. Funny story. I read this copy on the plane ride to France
Oh wow.
when
Was
we
that
did
junior
spring
year?
break. Yeah, junior year,
Yeah. So me and Pete met in college for background of why now we know each
Yeah.
other.
So yeah,
Now,
I read
was
this
that your first time
on the
reading on a
plane.
plane?
Yeah, first time reading it was on
Awesome. So you're like
entirely in its entirety. Yeah,
so in France, people are talking about, hey, look at this, and you're like, actually, look at this, The Long
yeah.
Halloween, this piece of literature right here.
I read it on the plane ride too. So that was the first time I read it like cover to cover. But yeah, like it was incredible. And then obviously you get all the hints with Nolan
Yeah,
and there's the rooftop scene and all that jazz and everything with Dent and Gordon and all. You could see the influence there and it's just it's such a great piece of like just Batman history. And I've
yeah,
gotten to meet Loeb and I'll meet Loeb again at Comic-Con. I'll get them to sign some stuff. I'll get some Dark Victory signed this time. So, just it's awesome. I love Long
yeah.
Halloween.
Is an a top 10 story for you? Top 10 Batman story?
Yeah,
No judgment.
probably top five.
Probably top five. Yeah,
I'd have to say,
gotcha.
yeah. Like, I mean, I count No Man's Land as a whole, as you know,
Yeah,
so that's big. But that's like for me, that's number one. But like, it's like No Man's Land, Long Halloween, Year One, probably Killing Joke,
yeah.
and then five is probably whatever comes after that. It's like a flex, but like that's usually what it is.
All this, Andy's jotting down notes. He's like, all right, man, I got a lot to read. Oh shit. Oh boy. I got a lot of homework. Uh so Andy, you diving into this. Clearly, to summarize my views or my feelings on The Long Halloween, I read it when I was a junior in high school. Found it, it was like a Sam Goody, and they started to
Wow,
have like
Sam
comic
Goody.
collections, yeah, in the back. Like that was they had like all the music, of course, in the front, but I always journeyed to the back where it had like more like some more pop culture stuff. It started to spread out, and that's where I saw Dark Victory, Haunted Night, and The Long Halloween. And
Actually, I
I
want to
was
ask you real
looking up.
quick. Did you know? Did you know like it was a big? Did you have any idea? Because like
I had no idea.
okay,
So
interesting.
we're
So
talking
you just thought it was interesting.
2003. So internet was still young, and it just wasn't as talked about, or I didn't come across it. And I was small town, small town. There were no comics around at all. Like probably when I found The Long Halloween, I had year one, a stack of comics that I'd gotten from my uncle and Killing Joke. So Long Halloween was one of my first trades. Oh, Lonely Place of Dying, greatest Batman stories ever told. So yeah, I mean, I had one shelf, half a shelf of Batman stuff when I stumbled across this. So that was my exposure to it, was just finding it. And when I took it up to the counter, the guy behind the register, he was like, "Oh my God, this is good stuff." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah," because it was like $20, and $20 when you're in high school, especially in 2003, it's like, "Oh my, I had to work 4 hours." Okay, to be able to pay for this. This better be good. And it was a game changer at that point, and probably became a favorite Batman story immediately, just immediately. And everything I read after that, it was always compared to, well, is it as good as Batman: The Long Halloween? No. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's just been there ever since. I don't know why the obsession. I lean into it some just to like laugh about it, but then also like, well, no, I'm serious. It's that good. I'm sitting right here. I have three versions just right here because I didn't know which one I wanted to grab and reference while we talked about it. Because I'm a dork. I don't care. Andy, you read this. Um, Tell me about it. Tell me in Peter about it. How was it?
It's funny because for someone who's only read it once, and I did watch the movie with Peter once actually. Well, we'll get to that, but like I loved it. Honestly, I really did.
You're not a comic book reader, and that's
Yeah,
again no
yeah,
judgment. You don't read it, and that's the whole point of
yeah,
picking your brain about something like this. You don't really read comics. You read year one because that was a nice small 4-issue story, a
yeah.
good little gateway of like try this out. It's not overwhelming, and now you're at the big one.
Yeah, I went from year one to Long Halloween, and it's funny because I mean, here's the thing. I figured I love Batman,
Yeah,
so I
who doesn't?
figured, yeah,
Losers.
but so like I figured I'd like it. I wasn't like, oh my, this is so like. So but I will say, watching the movie and reading it all the way through and everything, and just like hearing about it over the years and just doing little bits. Like really, I did very mini research. Just reading the story was kind of enough. I remember we watched like a couple like tiny YouTube videos, just I don't know, just to because I know I was in the podcast about it, but I for the most part watching the movie with Pete and reading it. Like I liked it even more than I thought I would, or even thought it was even. I figured it'd be good, but I was like, it's. I actually have a lot of to say about it, and a lot of opinions. But like, first word it comes to mind, which once again, I want to say real quick, I'm a little insecure because I feel like all my takes are gonna be really ice cold because all of me stuff that's probably said a million
this
times.
This book sucks. Ass.
No.
Wow.
But like the first thing is it's just epic. It's so epic. Yeah. It's like I can't get over how epic it is, and which is like so cool. And there's just so much.
The next version they print out on the back of it's going to be like, it's so epic. Andy Luca, the Batman book.
Actually, I think on my book, hold on.
It even says epic.
Hold on. I think on the front, I could have sworn it's here, literally right here in the top. It says The Long Halloween is more than a comic book. It's an epic tragedy. Christopher Nolan. Right there.
Boom. You and Christopher Nolan.
Oh, suck on that, Holzman.
No, but it's just like it. But it was like, yeah, I wouldn't say your one's epic. I said your one's really. I don't think it's epic.
Well, you don't think so? I mean, it's so.
No, I think epic to me.
Epic's like big, like longer and bigger.
Yeah, like bigger and almost like bigger in scope is how I can think of when it comes to epic. And year one is very like small and attached to the hips of Gordon and Batman, and that's not a negative. I just think that's like that is small scale because it's just it's a very character driven story.
It's awesome. I mean, year one is like it's delicious. It's like a great meal. Where I feel like Long Halloween is like a feast. Festival, like a 3-day festival feast, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like so
they're Peter Verra barbecue.
Yeah, it's like a 3-day. It's like a Woodstock Peter Verra barbecue. Yeah, you know I mean, like there's just whereas, but that's what I really enjoyed. It was actually real, like it was easy and fun to read. I mean, I have so many things. I don't even know where to begin. One thing I do want to say because. I definitely want to talk about this, so might as well just talk about it now. The way you're obsessed with Long Halloween, I'm obsessed with The Godfather Part 1 and 2, and I knew
this.
Yes, I knew this. Obsessed. I bring up all the time.
So I had questions because I have seen the Godfather trilogy. Yes, all 3, and I do like them. 1 and 2, 3 I thought wasn't as bad as its reputation, but was still like
I go back and forth.
It doesn't measure up to those first
it's a big
2,
dip.
But I'm not one that's seen.
People got soft on Godfather 3 after The Sopranos.
I think people got soft right away. From my knowledge, it was. I remember I grew up. My dad's like 3 sucks.
It's garbage. But like 1 and 2, I've seen them both probably 3 times. In my life,
3 times last week. It's on TV every day.
Aside from the constant gifs and memes and stuff, like the parts like make him an offer and that they're like, I know that there's probably references in this that have gone over my head. So I'm like, okay, I know that you're a big Godfather. Okay, good. I was like, I know that you're a big Godfather fan, and there'll probably be moments that you'll be like, oh, this was because of Godfather and such. So we'll get to those for sure.
Yeah, whenever when you're ready for that specifically, I might have missed some, but I literally Snapchat every time I saw something. Oh, that's and it was like these are hardcore direct homages, which I personally, if someone who loves Batman, loves The Godfather, I was in heaven, and once again, there's no doubt in my mind this had to be talked about by anyone who loves The Godfather and Batman. And this has been talked about.
Jeff Loeb, the writer of this, his favorite movie is Godfather.
Oh,
so
it shows so much, and I'm here for it.
All right. So how long did it take you to read this? Because this is 3.5 times as large as year one.
Should I give you like the full answer?
You can answer however you want.
I'm gonna
14 days.
so I'm gonna give a slightly longer, a funny long answer. So I watched the week before, not this past weekend, the week before, I happened to see Pete, and we watched the movie, and I enjoyed it, which was great because it just got a little familiar. But I just wanted to do, since I knew it was in a podcast, I wanted to do my due diligence. Yeah. All right. Here's my long answer. So here's the thing. This past Sunday, my fiance usually doesn't work on Sundays. She had to work on Sunday, so the place to myself. also, I wanted to make sure I had my full thing. So I have ADD, and so I made sure I took my Adderall, and I was a good boy. I sat in my living room,
Lit
and
some
I
candles, put on some Kenny G. It's just you and the long
es-
Halloween, man.
essentially, yeah. And then I remember I
Excellent.
sat in my I thought I want to watch a movie in my bed. I go no, I sat at my coffee table and I sat and I read it. I mean, I took a few breaks,
Sure.
but for the most part, I probably took me. And I took my time because I want to take it in. And
Hmm.
so I've told my, I want to say 4 hours, maybe 4.5 hours.
Wow. So it was one day. You were like, I'm getting this.
Oh,
I'm
did
doing
I?
this in
Yeah,
one day.
Oh, I had the whole.
Bravo.
I literally on Sunday I had no plans. My plans on Sunday because Chris, I didn't have to worry about like being a good fiance.
Hmm.
So I was like, I had the place to myself. I told you I usually don't take I usually don't take my medication on weekends. I was like, this is an important day, and you're prepared, and because I don't want to read after it's a long day of work. I want to do it right. So in a weird
Yeah.
way, even though I did it all the way through, it's kind of like when I didn't watch Sopranos forever, and then lockdown happened. I watched it straight through very thoroughly. Like I put my
Hmm.
energy into it. Like I watched like frame by frame. I didn't like walk around. Like I was watching that
He
show.
takes this shit seriously.
No, yeah, yeah. No, I'm an extremist. I either like don't pay attention or I pay attention too much. Like I'm like, you see the flower in the corner? But like, what do you watch? Do you listen to what he's saying? Like so anyway. So yeah. So I took it all in. I really took my time, I'm actually I kept getting nervous about putting it off, but I'm so happy I did it that way because I really felt like I just felt nice.
Good on
The
you.
only thing I think to myself was like I did have that thought of like and I have this when I binge watch series. I was like I wonder what it was like for people in the late '90s reading this, like having to wait every month, like I
Yeah.
want to see what happens. So no, it was so fun, so it was so much fun. So but I guess 4.5 hours it took me. I went straight through, but I really took my time with it and
I'm
just
proud of
enjoyed
you.
it. I enjoyed it. I was like I remember like being nervous, like is this gonna feel like work? And I was like, it's really great. It's great. That's why
It's
I knew
Batman.
I'd like it. Yeah,
It's pure
exactly.
Batman.
That's
Yeah,
Batman.
so
So
good.
do you, as a non comic reader, does it confuse you how to follow along in pages, or is this? And we'll just talk directly on this book. Did it ever get you of like, oh wait, which panel or how do I follow, or was it pretty simple for you to follow the order and read along?
That is a great question. I had that issue with year one just 'cause I did I tried reading comics when I was like a little kid. I didn't
Yeah.
have I just didn't have the attention. I just didn't. I guess I would get derailed. I
Hmm.
probably would pick up like a random book and it just didn't. Probably was a great one. Either way, so once I read year one, I go, oh, I get this, and I
Hmm.
figured I might even like if I had a question or two, I might have just Googled it quickly. But for the most part, I figured it out. So by the time I read Long Halloween, like I was like, oh, I get it. I know what to do. And like, maybe there might have been a bubble or two, might have read out of order. But for the most part, I know what you're saying because sometimes at least the book I have, the pages like will go into like 1.5 pages. I mean, you just adjust. You're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
this is one frame. So yeah, I did not have any confusion, but it's funny because if you asked me that a year ago, I definitely was like, oh yeah, it took me a second to like, oh, is this narration? Like, I needed to like adapt, but also I watch movies with subtitles, so in a weird way, it kind of helped like I have that. I'm prepared for that in a way.
Hmm.
So yeah, no, I did not have trouble this time. I did have trouble with year one though. At first, I think I figured it out, but at first I was like, wait, what do I read? Or like, what
Year
is that?
year one's good to train on, to be honest
I
with you. It's
100%.
the
Yeah.
perfect like entry level
Yep.
comic book, entry level Batman story. It's the best gateway drug, right, for comic books
Totally,
ever,
totally
to be
agree.
honest with you. So
Yeah,
There's most people in my orbit, like I say in my real life, as in like people I face to face. Most people don't read comics, and it is something that I've heard
because they're
on more than
stupid.
one occasion, on than one occasion of like I don't know where to read next, and so that it's a
Didn't
very
Tim Burton say that at one point?
Oh,
I
I
think he
think he
did.
did.
Like he's
Yeah.
like that's
I
why he
think he
liked
did.
Killing Joke because it was simple to read.
Yeah, it was
Well,
easy to follow along. So it's definitely one that I
yeah.
want to ask of like, was it easy for you to follow along
I always
specifically
did
with this
like
book?
top to bottom, left to right within the picture frame. Like I kind of that's what I mean. Maybe I did read it. Maybe I read it wrong. But the way I looked at it is like, okay, if it's go left and if there's a box that's not another page unless it stretches out, read that one next and then go down to the. I kept doing like like as if I was reading a novel. So or like reading a
There,
textbook.
Yeah.
there's sometimes there's like early like Fantastic Four books I have in my collection that I'm just like, oh my God, there's bubbles everywhere. Like I don't even know what to read.
Okay,
So like
There's
early
baubles.
'60s books,
There's baubles.
bobble
bubbles.
expensive baubles.
Yeah, so
Expensive baubles.
We
sometimes
got
with
it.
like early
Organic
'60s
Batman
books, it's
Returns.
crazy.
Yeah.
Waiting for my action figures. Waiting for my action figures.
I see all these pictures at Target and I think they're fake. Because Pete
I
knows
got mine
this.
from GameStop, so
Pete knows this. My Target used to be ahead of the game over anybody.
yeah,
There
Lowry's
for quite a
shipped me
while.
a few. Shipped me a
And
few.
then it dropped
then yeah, then it dropped off, and now it's very far behind. And so
wow.
I'm seeing these pictures that these returns figures have shopped because I like the hunt. I have to go on the hunt for.
I love the. Well, I was gonna say like
It's very
the old
Uxisian of you.
schoolness.
Yeah.
Very what of you?
Uxas, not in the Long
Uxisian.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Huh. Pete, would the
Yeah.
Long Halloween have been better with Uxas?
The only
in
thing
the sewer?
missing from the Long Halloween is Uxas. I mean, it is
Okay.
perfect as is, but like the sprinkles on the top of the sundae would be Uxas.
Okay. Fair.
Okay, so real quick. I probably
I
just
guess.
because I want for you love Halloween Ends, and I think of Solomon Grundy. I think of Michael Myers in the sewers.
That's great. That's
Awesome
great. I'm glad you were
connection.
able to connect that.
Yes.
Michael Myers was born on Monday.
You were able to connect Long Halloween to my favorite, Corey Cunningham.
All right, well,
I hear you like that movie, Lauer, which I'm kind of surprised.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And unironically,
It's,
I like
it's funny
that
how
movie.
me and Lauer can dislike things and still be friends.
well,
it's
okay,
crazy,
well,
isn't it? Aren't we supposed? Does this mean we have to fight?
yeah, so like, yeah, they go another Batman Returns. So this means to start fighting. No, but real quick, I will say that movie, like I hate Halloween Ends. I think it's horrible, but I love talking about it. So I'm happy it exists. I
We're very
thoroughly
much a rare.
I enjoy
A
talking
rare?
about it.
A rare. We're very much a rare.
Yeah.
We're-
Like,
Hold on.
Me and Laura talk about it all year round. It's very strange for a
We
movie
really
that's it's really weird. It's very
we really
weird.
do. Pete. We always talk about Corey.
It comes
Never
up somehow every 2 or 3 days. Like Corey,
And I just want it to be known that you brought it up here.
I did.
You did.
100%.
I didn't. So thank
No,
you.
actually, I'm going to blame Solomon
Lauer
Grundy. Brought
and
it
me
up.
just talk about BVS. That's all we're talking about.
BBS.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah, it's good stuff.
I always like
in safe hands, right, Pete?
yeah. I always like him in his trench coat. I always think of in BVS when he wears the trench coat and the flash the nightmare
Yeah.
scene where I always think of Raphael and Ninja Turtles.
Yes. Thank you.
Every
See,
time.
it's
Every
Bill's
time.
onto something. Bill's onto something. It's all connected.
Yeah,
It's all
every
connected.
time.
All of it. And I do have that action figure of Batman because I do like the look of him. I think the scene makes no sense, but I do
When I
actually
first
like
saw
the
that, I was
look
like,
of
why
him.
is he wearing a trench? Like when I saw like a picture of it, like 10 years ago,
Clearly, it was
whenever
a nod to
9 years
Raphael. It was a nod to
it
Raphael.
seemed like who wore it better? That's the
Raph.
question.
Dude, that's
I mean,
the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah.
Well, the second greatest movie. We know it's the greatest.
It's the dadgum best movie of all time.
So Pete, what
Yeah,
is when you hear Long Halloween, what's like the first thought in your head, whether it's character, scene,
I mean, there's so-
image,
Oh,
what?
There's so much. There's obviously Batman, Dent, and Gordon.
Okay.
Grundy, obviously we mentioned Grundy, right? I love Grundy. Everybody knows that.
Your mind.
Ivy. I mean, I love Ivy. So Ivy
Green Bush.
has a nice part of the story. You know, not necessarily the Joker as a character, but just his design. Tim Sale's design of the Joker always stands out to me. Like I remember I told Luke, I was like, when you read this, Joker's gonna be great. I was like, lots of teeth. You know, and he's like, okay, all right, I'll see what you mean. So like, I'm curious to hear what Andy has to say about that now. Think about because I remember specifically lots of teeth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but still, like the thing about the Long Halloween that always sticks out to me is that it's such an insane, wildly wacky, almost 60s Batman show. But at the heart of it, it's a grounded mafia spectacular, right? Like it's
you beat
weird.
me to that.
It's such the perfect, like it's such the perfect blend of everything. That's why it's like it's the perfect Batman story. Like as much as I love like year one to like start somebody off, like once you get to like Long Halloween and eventually Dark Knight Returns, the payoff is so huge for that when you do it right, you know?
Yeah.
When we were watching the movie, I think at midnight texted Laura. I was like, so many villains.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they all like it never once are you like, oh man, this is like no, you're just like
They pull it
this
off.
is great, just keep
They-
it coming.
yeah,
like
no, like,
merry-go-round, revolving door, whatever you want to call it, it's awesome.
Like the 60s Batman, like you said, pulls off a lot of villains. And usually, like you watch a movie like Batman or Robin, does not pull off a lot of villains. Long Halloween, they have so many villains, it's almost comical, but it just works. It's just epic, and it's like there's room for everyone. Apparently, it just works.
So I'm with Pete on it's hard to just name one thing of the Long Halloween to me is, and then, Tim Sale's Batman or the acid in Harvey Dent's face, or the shot of Gordon Dent and Batman on the rooftop, or the amazing villain shot in Falcone's office at the very end that has all of them and Joker saying trick or treat. It's a ton of things, but something that's unique, I think, for the three of us is that Pete and I, when we saw The Dark Knight, we were thinking elements of like, oh, Long Halloween, Long Halloween. And I think that could be flipped here, whereas you're reading Long Halloween, you're thinking Dark Knight, Dark Knight. So one piece that Pete just mentioned was about like the Gordon Dent Batman triangle. Let's start there. Did you know that Dent became Two-Face in the story? Did you have any heads up of what the story was going to be before you started reading?
Yeah, you know what? I think from just overhearing you guys on podcasts, or maybe I think I actually did it before Pete, before you asked me about this. So let's say a month ago or more.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Long Halloween was a Two-Face story. I didn't know as everyone else was in it. I had no idea Joker was in it. I just thought it was. I thought it was. Yeah, I didn't know Poison Ivy was in it.
Thought it was
I
Batman Forever.
Kind of, yeah, kind of in a way. Although Batman tried to save him, we gotta get it. That's been 30 years of me and my brother. Although Batman tried to save him,
he's just hanging out in the courtroom during the day.
I love him just hanging out. I love how Long Halloween was like, oh, he's in disguise, and when Batman Forever's like, nope, put him in the suit.
Like sidebar, has Ricky ever read Long Halloween?
I believe he has. Ricky, actually, because I was when I was texting you guys, I texted him and he goes, "Oh, that's a good one." Like I think he's not a big comic, but I think he knows about the 101, like the
big cartoon guy.
Exactly. But so I not before the Godfather we thought about it like a little bit and other stuff too. But I will say off the top of my head, well, first off, little side thing. I actually thought of Batman and Robin with the whole Poison Ivy thing of like, even though I know it's like Robin in the movie, but the whole him like being like, oh, I'm so stupid in love with you. I thought of Batman. I thought of Batman and
nice
Robin.
Stems.
I love that
too.
design. Like I don't know what it is about that like leaf design that Sale came up with. Like that
green bush.
Oh my God, Lauer. Like I can see why you love these redheads.
I know.
Yeah, no, but and then also obviously the giant stack of money. Which is the movie and the book. Thought of the, even though it's the Joker, just the giant stack of money. I think they're like, oh, that's a cool visual, and also obviously on top of the, the rooftop with the signal, the three of them. That to me is like just like that's super obvious.
Luke, I can't. I probably told Lauer this, but like for me, seeing that moment on the screen was like. Nerd joygasm! Oh my God, this is everything I've ever wanted.
Talking about that shot?
Yeah.
Of the three of them,
So
I can picture, and this is how much of a nerd Pete and I is because I can remember that the still of from the Dark Knight of the three of them being released, and Bill posting it on BOF, and he posted that shot underneath it because it was one of those things of like. I think why we were going to BOF is because we are amongst our people, because we were like, it just seemed we were all having a similar reaction because we knew the Long Halloween. And so we saw that shot. And so we're like, oh my God, it's just like the Long Halloween. And so I'm go ahead, Pete.
I think the only thing it actually compares to is like Begins when he summons the bats.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of like,
yes.
I think that's the only other moment Batman wise was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm seeing this.
Which is funny because it's not like it's like some unfilmable scene or anything. It's three guys talking, but it was just like, it's one of those,
it's a nod.
Lifted from like almost exactly lifted from comics.
Well, it's Dent
in a way, not in like
because Dent is there.
That's like silly, silly comic books, boom, bang, pow stuff that people make fun of. It was just, I thought like that to me stands out as the most Dark Knight, Long Halloween instant connection.
Well, because we always think of Gordon and Batman. Or Chase Meridian. Sorry, no, with the bat signal. You never think of. Besides, I mean, once again, you might know exceptions, but like to me, like Long Halloween or Dark Knight, like Harvey Dent being there is, I don't know, unusual. That's why it's obviously.
Gotcha.
That's why to me, Dent's the reason why it's it's clearly taken from Long
Because
Halloween.
your impressions of Batman, how much did you watch the cartoon?
Oh, Batman animated series, I watched like all of it as much as I could as a
Okay,
kid. I think
because
I watched all of them.
there's
Yeah,
very little Harvey Dent, Bruce Wayne in that.
that's what I'm saying.
And
Yeah,
then in movies, but Batman tried to save
you
him
save him. That was it.
prior
He
to the
failed.
Dark Knight. And so there isn't Batman and Dent. So that aspect being introduced in year one, it's cool. I like that angle to it. And then how they play up more even in the Long Halloween that Dent sees Bruce Wayne as, like this rich one percenter. I have stuff to do while you go be fancy.
Yeah,
And I loved that whole, it's almost a Flash
yeah,
Thompson Spider-Man connection, which I don't know if you're familiar with that one, where Flash is a big fan of Spider-Man, but is a bully to Peter Parker.
that's funny.
It's like a similar trade-off relationship, and I like that angle. So I really hope we get Harvey Dent in the Batman Part 2 and not Two-Face, because I'd really like to see a Batman Harvey Dent connection again and longer. But
Well,
anyways,
yeah, Two-Face is just here's the thing about Batman, and we're gonna say it a million times. We'll say it a million times. Like the villains are just amazing.
yes.
Like there's and like just I don't know. There's just so many great ones, and like
hmm
Two-Face is absolutely one of them. And it's like I don't know. It's just it's yeah.
You thought this was a Two-Face story.
Going
So
in, yeah.
were you getting impatient by any means or getting surprised the further it went along and he remained Harvey Dent?
No, only because I think when I asked Peter about the book, I was like, "Is this a Two-Face?" And Peter's like, "Oh no, everyone's in it. Everyone's in it." So that's it. If Pete didn't say everyone's in it, everyone, I would have been. Then I probably would have thought that. But because Pete said that, I was like,
Because Pete said what?
because Pete said, "Oh, everyone's in it. Everyone's in it.
Okay, thank you. That's what
Everyone's
I just wanted one more. One more.
Like I was like, because I was like, oh, it's just like a Two-Face thing. You're like, yeah, but it's like everyone's, it's like everyone's, everyone's in it.
All right.
That's what, so I was like, oh, so because he said that, I didn't. Now if he didn't say that, I would have been like, when's Two-Face? What's
Yeah.
I was like, wow, they're really taking the time here.
So did you see
Yeah.
it coming when
Oh no, I
that
knew it was
amazing panel of I mean, it's bad, obviously, because it's a bad thing, but the amazing panel, I think, of the
Oh
acid
yeah,
being thrown in his
I
face.
I sent to you guys about Batman trying
You
to save
did.
him.
Now, when that happened, though, were you like, oh my, because I imagine you're sitting there, listening to your Kenny G with candles, nobody to tell. Oh my God, he's in there.
Energy.
Well, you know what? It's funny you asked that because it's so weird because for guys who read comic books, and I go back and forth. All right, here's why I love Batman is because I love Batman every which way. And what I mean by that is that like I love I love that a Joker that falls on acid, and I love a
Mhm.
Joker that just paints his face. I love both, and I love Two-Face that gets half his body blown off like in that animated series, or that gets it blown off like in Dark Knight, or gets the classic acid in the face. I think if I had to choose, I'd say classic acid in the face in the courtroom,
Mhm.
but I don't know. That's why for whatever reason, like I don't know. Like I'm sure there's exceptions, but like for the most part, like that's like we like 60s Batman's. A Batman can surf, and I'm like, oh, I'm here for it. Like I just we love something so much. Like almost anything works in a way.
Sure.
Like I'm saying almost. There's exceptions, but like but like
With Batman, it is like we say all the time, he's so malleable.
mhm,
Like probably more so than any other like comic book hero because he does just work in all sorts of situations and tones and genres.
mhm.
So
Like
he
I
can
love
be silly
yeah.
surfing, one of the greatest episodes of television of all time, or he can be extremely dark and serious.
Yeah, and
Totally works.
but even for me personally, I think maybe because and maybe like Tim Burton's too, like I grew up on zombie Catwoman. I love
Mhm.
that Catwoman.
Oh yeah.
I grew up on Black Blood Penguin, and I love that Penguin. But I don't know, but then as I get older and I like aristocratic Penguin. I also like Cat Burglar. Like
Yeah.
fake heiress or real heiress or what is like I guess is she considered rich or fake rich? Selena Kyle in her pure sense.
Uh,
Isn't she supposed to be like a
Go ahead, Pete.
socialite?
She's a criminal. What do you mean?
No, she's a cat burglar, but isn't she also like sometimes a socialite? I'm making that up.
Yes, it's in like an extent, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
Anyway,
to an extent, but not of genuine organic.
like it's like a fraud, like a
Uh,
facade, right?
I think she has helped steal her way to make it there, but almost justified in some of her methods.
Yeah. Oh,
In
yeah.
the Long Halloween, I think she definitely felt as if she was of a certain status to
Yeah.
Bruce without getting too into it to prove that correct or incorrect.
Yeah. Another
She
reason
looked good in the
why,
black dress, right? Come on.
yeah,
That's
she looks
right.
good all
Yeah.
around. Now, here's another reason why.
Amen, Val.
There's many reasons why Long Halloween's awesome, and the reason why is because it's a great Two-Face story. It's also an amazing Catwoman story.
Yeah.
I love this cat, and also I definitely saw the Batman stuff. Like when they meet each other
Hmm.
afterward, I thought of Batman, the Batman. You know what
Hmm.
I'm talking about? Like
Oh yeah.
afterwards, when they go, like that to me, I instantly thought of that scene in the Batman, which is like, oh, that he had to have gotten like that had to be an influence.
Obviously,
Oh,
most of the Dark Knight, well, instantly because the connections between this and the Dark Knight, but there are some in the Batman when uh Falcone in. So which way do when you read this, do you read Falcone or Falcone?
it's funny. That's that. Well,
I actually don't know.
I think
I go
I did
Falcone.
I did both, but I did Falcone because in recent years with watching
Okay.
The Penguin, which also so we'll get to Sophia.
Yeah.
There's because of The Penguin, the Batman, and it's very Falcone heavy.
Hmm.
I go back and forth, but I'd say Falcone, which I was always a Falcone guy. In fact, it's gonna be
Hmm.
a while. I begrudgingly I held off on saying Falcone for a while, and eventually I just switched it up because there's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like if I had to give an answer, yeah, I was reading it as Falcone mostly just because I was thinking the Batman, the Penguin because it was more fresh in my brain with that
Gotcha.
they're so Falcone heavy and because Sophia, you
Mhm.
know why? Because Sophia was in it too.
Yeah.
So that's my that's my answer I'd say
So, um, crap, I forget why I asked about Falcone.
because he's a
Because
huge
it's the
character,
great debate.
the
Well,
Roman.
no, there was we were going somewhere with, and then I asked which way he read it. You said Catwoman. Oh, because the Batman Falcone at the funeral, he says, and he tells Oz about like what Bruce's dad did for him,
Oh
and it's
yeah.
that was a Turturro thing that he brought up to Reeves, The Long Halloween. He said this on one of the late night shows. He said that that he read The Long Halloween, and there was a scene
Oh
in there
cool.
where Thomas Wayne operates on Falcone, and he was like, so I brought that up. What if I tell that story? So I mean, that's there in some of the tone, and and I think if you bring up Falcone/Falcone at all, like you think of. You think of The Long Halloween. Yes, he was there in year one, but I think it was minimally compared to this. Like
This is I mean he's the first
he's huge
shot.
in this.
Oh
He's
he is
huge
in
in
it,
this.
and it's funny because they do a really I love the mafia. I love the mafia stuff of Batman, but honestly, like I love the classic villains more.
Yeah.
Usually I like the mafia guys there as like a nice side dish, like the way like Maroni's is actually yeah, the way Batman Begins and Dark Knight does it really well, in my opinion, generally speaking. But this did a good job of like man, like Falcone is like kind of the main, almost the main, but they made just whatever reason it just works.
Hmm.
And I love how he uses it's really clever how he uses it's a kind of a semi-log in the context of Gotham City. It he gets desperate. It behooves him to use all the other super villains or
Yeah.
whatever to like try like he's like I normally don't use these guys, but like I'm getting desperate here. I got to hold on to this. And so
It's
that's a really yeah, it's a
the,
clever way to do it.
the story is for me. I've always viewed it, and I'm not the first one to view it this way or the only one to view it this way. A transition from the mob to the freaks, from organized crime to unorganized chaos,
Mhm.
and there are elements where it's like even brought up. So I know that you just read it once, but there's a scene where Gordon's walking with Batman in Arkham, and Gordon mentions about like there's so many more here now than when you first started. And Batman's internal monologue is like, I know what Gordon's getting at. Have I somehow inspired these? And
Hmm.
I think that's always a great question
Yeah,
in
like in
Batman
yeah
lore, because
yeah
then you can see too of like, okay, organized crime, mafia, yeah, that's bad, but it says organized in the title.
yeah
Would you rather take Falcone or the Joker? Like,
yeah
there's
like
no win, but one I think
what's
creates
the lesser
less
two evils?
chaos.
Yeah
And this is a transition, and you can even say, yes, it's there, but by Falcone in the issue of reaching out to Poison Ivy, like that's kind of opening the door of it. Okay, now like it's happening now. The transition is underway.
yeah
And then by book's end, it is like Falcone's gone, but the freaks they're out of the asylum.
Yeah, they do a great job of that thing in the Dark Knight. I think that just the whole like you're just a freak like me. You're just like what you
Like
you score
me.
Yeah, and like Alfred tells him, he goes, "You squoze them." They got desperate. Actually, Peter, this is popped in my head. I feel like this would be a really funny Sopranos thing, like Christopher getting mad at Tony. What are you doing talking to poor? She's a flower freak. What are you doing, Tone?
Okay.
All right. You said Sopranos. You already said mob and mafia.
Sure.
Let's get to your
Okay.
instant identifying connections to Godfather.
All right. So I'm gonna try to be as not like
Concise and quick, however you want to be.
there's a lot, but
For the guests.
and I'll just preface it because I'll go through them because I love them, and there's probably even more that I didn't catch, and there's a couple that I was like, you know what, this is vague enough, but these ones all the ones I'm gonna give you right now as efficiently as possible are all like this is like a direct quote from The Godfather, and so here we go. First page, I believe in Gotham City is the first line in The Godfather. I believe in America. I mean, boom. I mean, right. That's right off the bat. I was like, I am in. I was like, seriously. If they were like, okay, you have one page to get Andy hooked, and I was like, I can't. I was like, I almost laughed out loud. I go, I'm already in. I'm one page in. Then just the pictures of like like how Harvey Dent is like taking a license plates. That's definitely in like Godfather 1 during the wedding, and I think even a little bit in Godfather Part 2 when he's having the christening party. That's definitely Godfather stuff. Hold on, let me zoom in and out so I can see better. What was my next one? Oh, just the picture of the family taking the wedding like the picture, the weddings, the people.
Yeah,
that's literally. I have my family background, like my family group text. Picture is that. So I had like to me, like I'm like it's The Godfather. Here we go. Oh my God, this one I love. This one might be my favorite. When he says, "In my own home where my children sleep," that is from Godfather Part 2. When he gets this, when he's talking to Frank Pantangeli, he comes in. He's like, "My home, where my children sleep, where my children come play with when my wife sleeps, my children come play with their toys," which I think Seinfeld did a parody of too. That's that one. I love that because I love that part. Pacino just goes for it in that scene. Another one. Oh, he goes, Milos, my most trusted friend. That's like Luca Brasi, my most trusted friend. He says that in the beginning during the walk. Okay, what else is there? When he's making the tomato sauce, that's definitely Clemenza making the tomato sauce in Godfather 1, absolutely. And then is it Carla? Who's the blonde girl? Is that Carla?
yeah, Carla Viti.
Yeah, so oh yeah, she goes. This is like she's quoting Godfather. She goes, "You keep your friends close, but your enemies closer." That's Godfather Part 2. Let's see what else we got. He talks to what's the guy who's like a traitor with Harvey Vernon.
Vernon.
He goes, "Vernon, try the veal. It's the best in the city." That's a line, and he says that to in the whatever called in the before he kills the cop in Godfather Part 1. Then who else goes?
I just want nobody's gonna be able to see this.
What?
You're glowing.
Oh, I love.
Andy is so happy. I
love
now.
this.
This
is like.
Off. I like it. Keep going.
Okay, so another one to go. Okay, I think this is
like this is what I look like when I talk about Uxas.
It is.
On
your throne.
He goes, Dr. Wayne, look what they done to my boy. That's like when after Santino, look what they done to my Santino, my boy. And then also, was it Maroni's dad when he's the tomato? It says yes. Yes.
So there aren't many that I instantly sorry to interrupt, but one of the first panels I just think of Brando when Falcone's smelling the flower.
Big time. Yeah.
And then Luigi Maroni. Like that one instantly I'm like, oh yeah.
Like I imagine like Loeb and Sale just got together, got hammered, and watched The Godfather and wrote this.
But it's like the direct quotes was like that's what's so cool because I'm like it's like this is just like it's like here it is, who cares, still having fun. But also that shot though with Luigi, he goes he takes 5 shots in the chest and still lives. That's what with the guy who tries to he says that about when they try to kill Vito in the first one and they're talking to Tom Hagen. I'm drawing blanks his name. The guy I should know. It's the guy I know. It's the guy who's the drug dealer guy. Anyway, he says he goes
whatever his name.
Palazzo. Yeah, he goes, 5 shots. He's still alive. So that's a direct quote from Godfather 1. And then what else we got? I think we're fix Lou's mess. Oh, he goes, because on this holiday, Goon, all my guys are dead. How do I fix this mess, Lou? And then Lou goes, you can act like a man, which is what he says to Johnny Fontaine.
Yeah.
You can act like a man. He smacks him. And then I think that's it. And there's probably more, but those are the ones where I was like, oh my gosh, this is like that. These are direct quotes from like, this isn't like mafia adjacent. This is like, oh, we love the Godfather and we're literally taking Godfather. It would be like if the three of us made a movie and we went, although Batman tried to save him. Joel Schumacher would be like, hey, that's my line.
Bob
Or we
Kane,
have somebody
creator of
reference Corey and say, we're gonna have a good time tonight.
Yeah, oh my god,
One of
dude!
those.
I
Okay.
I talk a movie.
I haven't
quotes,
watched
the
that
problem.
movie since I saw it, and I was like, oh, I never want to see this again.
Never want to see it again.
It's
All right.
on TV a lot up in the
Is it
background.
really?
It is right now.
It was on Sci-Fi Network last night, and nothing else was on, so I put it on to have in the background, and also
Rewatching
just to
you
make just to make Lauer and our other friend happy. But Lauer loves it. I don't know what about that movie. The movie's terrible. Halloween Ends is a terrible movie, but I enjoy talking about it. Lauer likes it. God bless you, man.
That's right. So that I'm not
The
going to say
hottest
that
take
you're-
of the century.
pretty much.
No, Kowalski's had some winners.
That's true.
You guys can battle it out.
He can have it. I don't need that title. All right, so there we go with Godfather. We talked Harvey Dent. We talked the mob to the freaks. Let's see, what else do we got here? Let's talk about the Holiday Killer.
Sure.
Did you like that
nipple
thread
guns.
running through it all? It's a mystery. Like the Long Halloween's a mystery. Amongst all these awesome things, there's the through line is that it's a mystery.
This is also why it's epic. There's so much in it. I mean, I'm like, if you compare, once again, we shouldn't do this, but just to make a proof point, like you compare it to Year One. Year One's a more straight up story, which is it's a great story. This one has so much. There's so much to it that I'm like overwhelmed with what to talk about. And like, yeah, this because I also want to talk about Calendar Man. Like, like there's so many
Perfect transition.
like with the Silence of the Lambs thing. Like anyway, but like I do like it, and it's funny because man, it's so much. It seems like it shouldn't work. Once again, it all works. And I think once again, it's spread out 13 issues, and that obviously helps. But like, yeah, like I liked it. It actually, know what it was, because it's like, Joker's gonna joke, Riddler's gonna riddle, so like it was cool to be like, oh, what is it reminded me of Mask of Phantasm, it's like, a little bit like, who is this? And it's funny how mafia stuff works. Crazy wacky supervillains work, and even like murder mystery whodunits, or like just mystery killers, or that works too. And it's I guess because he's a detective, and so it's like, I don't know, it's just they also, I guess, because they all complement each other,
Yeah.
And yeah.
Did you
So
suspect?
I liked it. I dig it.
Did you suspect? Oh, this is okay. So Holiday Killer, him or herself as a whole.
Calendar, yeah.
So I think Long Halloween has great replay value, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're
Yeah.
saying, it's so epic in scope. That, I mean, you just said one layer of the Godfather, all those references, and you're like, and I'm sure that there's some that I haven't. So that's enough incentive for you to be like, well, let me see it again. But then also something that I always love to do. So say the Scream franchise.
Yep.
Once I see the movie for the first time, find out who the killer is, it's fun to watch the second time. And when it's two killers, it's trying to figure out like, well, this one's got to be, this one's Billy, this one's Stu, this one's Billy, this one's Stu. Here, I think it's a lot of fun then to revisit and think which one is which, because I don't think it's clear and completely wrapped in a perfect bow by the book's end. So Pete, in your revisiting of this, have you ever done that yourself, of thinking, oh, clearly this is because Harvey Dent, Gilda Dent, and Alberto, which we'll get to why I say Alberto in a second. But
I always feel
those
like
three
it's
technically
Alberto.
are Holiday Killer.
Yeah, I feel like it's like half and half. I feel like Alberto's the killer of half the book, and then Gilda's the killer of the rest of the book, right?
So you don't think Harvey did it at all?
No, I don't think Harvey did it at all. I think it's Gilda and Alberto.
It's not a gotcha moment.
But
It's hard for me to think that Harvey. It's always been hard for me to accept that Harvey is a Holiday Killer.
I think he knew about it totally. Like I think he
Now,
knew what
He knew
Gilda was
Gilda
doing.
did it. He knew Gilda, right? You're saying?
Yeah, he knew what Gilda was doing. He just didn't care.
but
Okay, so
she did
yes.
not shoot Alberto because
Oh.
she even said of like because there's the comment when he gets home on New Year's
Hmm.
and he's wearing a hat and she says, Harv, your hair's all wet. And he says it's been snowing. And she says in her monologue at the very end, um, she's like, but then that night that you came home, I thought she's basically confessing that she did it. And again on Christmas, but when Alberto Falcone was shot on New Year's and you came home late that night, your hair was wet, even though you were wearing a hat. A hat. I found the gun in the basement. You told me it was evidence, but I knew you had the same idea as me. You picked up where I left off so we could have time together.
So maybe he killed Alberto.
You know, I
But then he didn't kill Alberto, so then therefore he's not a holiday killer,
wait.
right? But yet
Wait,
he's
then
still
who did then? Wait, then who did kill Alberto?
There's got to be another one. There's another one out there.
The four holiday killer.
That's what the
no
new book's about.
Alberto. So Alberto at the end is he's in Arkham. You remember because he's alive.
He had to quote Catwoman, "Still alive."
Still alive. So that's like always been the one for me of like, it's like technically he didn't kill because Alberto survived, but he did dress up as the holiday killer. Okay.
Well,
But then
yeah.
it's funny to me always though still of the pure coincidence that Alberto picked up and like the Dents just decided we're not doing it anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
And a perfect time on one holiday, very next
Gotham icon.
holiday, Alberto just picks it up and he's like, I'm gonna dress up as holiday now.
You know,
Well,
so it's a Gotham icon. Someone picked up the mantle.
Well, it's almost like but it's kind of like
It's like Batman Beyond.
Didn't that happen with the Zodiac killer in a way? Like we're like they think that they're like more than one Zodiac killer. Is that kind of like maybe like someone's like, oh, I think it's kind of cool. Let me hop on this, or I don't know.
Yeah.
One thing I was actually very interesting because I watched the movie first because the movie it's just her, right?
Yes.
Now here's the thing.
Shout out to my friend Tim Sheridan.
Okay.
Pete and I's friend Tim Sheridan, the writer of The Long Halloween.
Oh, quick a question I wanted to ask you, and just happy I remembered this. And I probably overheard these conversations, but it's 5 years ago or 4 or 5 years ago. I remember. How excited for you when you know they're going to make an animated movie of it? Were you like freaking out of joy?
I was really pumped.
I'm a Batman's biggest fan and harshest critic.
Sure. So you're cautiously optimistic, or no?
I was
loves
optimistic,
Absolute
but definitely cautious about it because it's really towing those lines when it comes to the movie. So you ended up watching the year one animated movie, and that was almost everything was directly lifted. There was no inspired by it. It's directly adapted.
It's funny because I watched year one after I read, and this one I watched the movie before I read, which is funny. I flip flopped them, which is kind of funny.
And I might have mentioned this to you last year about that. Of the year one movie was like a direct adaptation of the book, and it got a lot of negative feedback. Dark Knight Returns, the movie was like a direct lift from the comic, and that was like across the board praise. So it's kind of like,
Why were they upset that year one was a direct thing? What was they wanted something different?
A lot of people didn't like Mackenzie's Batman.
And they felt like he was boring.
Yeah.
And I think what I came across a lot was almost like, I'll just read the book because it was just over an hour and it's just like the book.
Is it like a rule that they have
just,
Jensen, the Jensen Ackles did it, and Ben McKenzie? They think like Pretty Boys from like 10 years ago to play that.
CW
like a rule.
I don't like Ackles Batman.
We need it. Yeah.
A lot of things are crazy.
You said you don't like it?
No.
Pete? Okay, that's what I thought. I liked him. I mean, I've always liked Jensen Ackles. I liked his Batman in the movie, but I mean, back to answer your question though, it was one of like, man, that's just a tough thing when you're adapting a book because you can't please everybody.
Yeah.
And so if you stick too close to it, people are going to be pissed because you stuck too close to it. If you change too much, like how could you dare change anything from this? And then in the end, I was so freaking stoked with how that movie turned out because I thought it was fantastic. And I think changes were small but fit perfectly. The
whole Asian thing was not in the book, right?
Correct.
And then is there? I can't remember the Irish people in the movie because I can't remember that.
No, I think they
flip flop them.
because I was really curious how they're going to do the whole Boyo
Yeah,
Harvey Dent
I would
switch
remember
in the
that feeling.
jail,
Yeah,
and gosh, I haven't watched that recently. But no, and then I think Tim Sheridan he explained the whole because he was on BOF podcasts with me and Bill, and he explained the reasoning for the changing into like the Chinatown and stuff. And I'm like, I don't even bat an eye of it. It didn't bother me at all. Totally worked.
I dug the movie. Like to be honest, yeah, uh I'll use I'll use the ending. Like I love both endings. I
Yeah.
loved the movie when it's just her. I thought that was like oh that was it just felt really satisfying.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the comic book when I was confused. I was like, did I read something wrong? And I realized like oh no, it is it because I was like because I was like he faked his own death. I was like, but then I realized I kind of liked that. Except for I will say. I guess maybe because it's not fresh, I just only read it once. But like, it is nice to know almost like scream like, okay, who killed who and when. So I hope even if you have to do the work of that, and that's fun. But I hope it's not too vague where you'll never know the answer. I feel like you should okay, so if Harvey, like for instance, like so Harvey didn't kill Alberto. I feel like if it wasn't Gilda, then who did? Someone had to
Well,
pretend to have killed Alberto.
oh no. So now in the movie, okay,
Or
so
just
we're
Gilda.
talking two different things. Yeah,
No, no,
in
I'm
the
saying
movie, Alberto's killed. In
you
the
know, no,
book,
no.
he's
It
not.
just
But yeah.
yeah. No, the movie is just Gilda, which I dug that. It was actually because I was surprised. I was like, oh, it's not like when I watched it, I was like, oh, all right. I was glad I didn't see it coming, but it works, and I dug that. And I also I like both endings, but in the comic book, I was gonna say is like the only thing I would say is like that I is like basically it's three different people. There's three killers essentially,
Mhm.
right?
Hmm.
But do we not? Are you saying so? Who fake killed Alberto?
Yeah, so that's the one where I'm saying
That's
is
okay.
Harvey.
Okay, so it is Harvey. Okay, all right.
And Pete,
Because his hair's wet and everything. Yeah.
you don't agree, or you kind of think now like, oh, okay.
I mean, the more I hear you guys talk about it, the more I think you're right. It just kind of
Yeah.
makes sense.
Because I don't know who it would be then, because Gilda doesn't, by her monologue at the end, she's like, she's talking just to herself.
Yeah.
And so it's like, she would just say right out, and then on Christmas, I blah, 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 or something. And, um, yeah, I don't know. But that
I
part's
think.
always,
Yeah.
that always stands out to me. Then what's interesting about with the movie, Andy, is that The Long Halloween came out in two parts. I
Yeah.
don't know if you knew that. And so, like, the first part basically ends after that. And so we talked to Tim
Uh,
Sheridan, and I said, man, part one ended at a great spot because, yeah, it looks like Alberto's dead. Like, looks like he's dead in the movie. However, in the book, it looks like he is dead,
yeah.
you know?
Why would
So
you
it's
know?
like,
Why would you think otherwise? Yeah.
so maybe, I don't know. And then, by movie's end, by after the end of part two, is like, no, he's dead. Like, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
I will say Harvey and Gilda totally like gentleman and lady in the streets, freaks in the sheets, 100%. That is a
Yeah.
crazy couple.
Gilda, great haircut. I
Yeah.
love that.
Oh,
I love that
absolutely.
little haircut on bro.
And everything I kept thinking was like Gilda Radner. I kept thinking like just
Of
Saturday Night
course.
Live.
Why wouldn't you?
Just Gilda. Yeah. I don't know. I
Um,
kept thinking. I
Luca,
don't know.
what was your impression of Sophia?
Well,
Well, really,
sorry.
real
No,
quick,
no.
we'll get to Sophia next.
Okay.
Yeah, well, sure.
Because I wanted to ask Andy when it came to the movie because you just said that Gil Batman quote unquote lets Gilda go in the movie
Mm-hmm.
after she guarantees that it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Did that bother you, linger, anything at all?
No, once again, I grew up on Batman Kills too, so I'm not the best. I'm not the best. Like
He's a big Keaton guy. Big Keaton guy.
yeah. So like, I don't get. I'm so weird. Like, I don't get there. I have opinions about things, and but like, for me, Batman's.
You're
If
not
it's
such
good
a
Batman,
purist, a hard purist.
yeah, I know. Yeah, like to me, like I get it. There's exceptions to the rule, and his exception here is that like, okay, it's a lesser two evils in a way. Like he could be all pure and be like, no, I'm taking you to the jail, or I don't know, you know what I mean, or like
Yeah.
but it's in the context of the story just made sense. I know it's like that sounds like that's I just thought and obviously the comic book's great, but I really enjoyed the movie. I was like, this is I remember watching the movie, people like, this is an epic Batman story. It was like a real, like this is to me. It was like watching like modern,
It's got everything.
yeah. I was like, this is like, I'm like in my head. I'm like, wow. It's like a modern version of Batman animated series in the most epic scale, and they're really going for it. Like it almost felt like just the quality of it, the way I love the way it looked. I'm a sucker for like what they call it, dark noir, where they have some name for it, whatever. But I like anything, or dark deco, I think they call it or something. Like that. Some kind of nickname.
Art
Deco?
Or there's Art Deco. They had like a nick. They called Batman the series. They nicknamed it Dark Deco or something. They had some kind of like clever name for it.
Interesting.
Like
I didn't know that.
I could have
I probably
sworn.
did.
Or maybe I'm saying them. I'm maybe missing a word, and some person's been like, no, it's this.
I'm
But
sure
also
that'll happen.
Yeah,
Somebody's
someone
like,
who.
It's not that. It's not what it's called.
All right. Well, I will say, if anyone knows, if I'm saying it right, please be like, oh yeah, it's Dark Deco, good call. If I'm saying it wrong, please be like, please correct me politely.
Everybody go to Twitter at Final E33 and tell him all of the problems with what he has to say.
saying Art Deco out of nowhere? It's not funny. It's not funny.
Holzen's incredible.
Really stupid, actually, and a waste of my time.
All
No,
right. So, two things. Alberto Falcone.
Mhm.
Alberto.
Mhm.
As soon as I saw that movie, The Long Halloween, I loved how he said Alberto. Alberto.
Mhm.
It's always like such a bear. And then Sophia.
Mhm.
Sophia. So now let's pass that off to Pete because you and I know how much Pete loved Sophia Falcone in the Penguin series.
who did it? What are you talking about?
That's true.
I mean, my fiance literally, when she has to fire some work, she sends the Sophia Falcone gif. It's great, it's so awesome. It's like, what a great show. Honestly, what a great. And I'm so happy she won the Emmy. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Peter, what
Sorry.
do you think of We're talking Batman: The Long Halloween, Sophia Falcone.
I mean,
Gigante.
she's a big character, obviously.
Like
Right? She's a
inside,
big-
Literally
yes.
and figuratively. Literally, and
everything
figuratively.
about her. She just is an opposing mob force, and it's like it kind of like in the book, it was kind of like unexpected, to be honest with you. Like Sophia, like I was like, well, okay, who is this chick? And then all of a sudden, she really is just kind of larger than life,
In this
which is
sixth
nuts because like when
issue-
you think about the show, I'm just like, oh god, you're so sexy. But they're like, but like I'm like, you would not look anything like that. Like
Well,
Sophia,
it
you
was
guys-
so surprising when she was cast.
Yeah.
Kristen Milioti was
well, it's
cast.
just
so
how
tight.
is
It was
she
a tease.
cast, like
Yeah.
I don't know, Goro.
Well, and,
No, but it's-
I mean, to speak of like the size, figuratively, of her in the stories, she comes in. There's in chapter 6 of this story.
She's late,
so she
yeah.
comes in quite a ways into
And
the
this
story.
is
then,
this
yeah,
is the
she's
first
like-
story, but this story created her, correct?
correct.
That's awesome. So cool. Love it.
So yeah. So then, what do you think of? Like, what do you think of her?
Well, I like that character. I mean, obviously, a little
Because yet again, sorry to interrupt, but
No, go.
you were introduced to her not through
As
Long
Petite.
Halloween, so you get to read the Long
I,
Halloween.
I do everything backwards
afterward.
from you guys.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, they're both great. I remember probably a year ago, whenever it was, I remember texting you guys about it, and you guys like, I was like, yeah, she's actually. I remember like what she's like kind of like, yeah, like she's actually pretty like butch and manly. Like she's like big and bro. Like she's almost like a big Italian basketball player, like female basketball player. She's like a power forward. You know what I mean? She's a Khloe Kardashian of Falcones. But anyway, but she's just yeah. So it's funny how that works. Like I had this vision of like, well, I was introduced as Sophie as this petite, really like beautiful, almost like femme fatale kind of character. When really she's almost more like white Grace Jones or Italian Grace Jones, and but she's cool though. I mean, even Carla's kind of cool. I got to say, like, it makes everything so rounded and big, and there's like obviously like, and I think Carla is also like they're just, it shows how much power their families have. And it's interesting. It just I don't know. And they have the inner, and they do a great job in the Penguin series of just all the internal fighting and who gets along with more this person, who hates this person, but also their family, so they're on each other's side when it comes on the grander scale of things. But and good old Johnny Viti and
Yes,
everybody,
Johnny Viti.
just everybody, every Italian name in the book, they just spit it out there and made a character. No, but I like Sophie. I think she's cool. She dies essentially, right? So she comes and goes, or is she like a fake? Is that a real? She dies, right? Or she come back? It's one of those weird retcon situations where she comes back later.
Definitely falls out of the building.
Period.
Yeah.
Let her go. Poor choice of words.
Very poor choice of words.
Yeah, hey, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so she, so then she, I mean, to quote a friend of mine, she's getting it in with her papa's enemy. Like,
Yeah.
there's romance. We haven't even talked about all the romance here in the Long
When
Halloween.
two Italians meet and they have chemistry, you can't,
It's
it says that
undeniable.
when when an E meets an I and they get together, it's a beautiful
When the
thing.
olive meets the oil.
Oh, geez. No,
So
I mean,
so that's a character that I mean everybody was introduced in this, and it's not like she has. It's funny how big of an imprint she's made in such a small catalog of comics, you know?
yeah, well, but there's a certain a lot of for whatever reason, I think Gotham is a magical city. And that sounds corny,
It
but like
really is.
no, but I mean by that it sounds cheesy, but like the thing is like Sophia Falcone's just like this mini character, and then you have the Penguin series, and just like she is that. I mean, the Penguin, but she's just to me, she just stuck out, and that's the thing. There's so much you can do with these characters. Whether it's the Joker, you can use him, who is even when it's overused, we still love it. He's the Joker. Come on. But then
Mhm.
there's people who are like, hey, let's do this. I don't know, like let's. Who would have thought? Who would have thought 5 years ago that she'd be this Emmy award winning Batman character?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. There's probably other ones out there that were like, hey, this person over here, this person over there. Like, I don't know, Killing Murphy playing Scarecrow. I
Mhm.
know it's 20 years ago, but whatever. Like, this is why I like Batman. Like, to me, like, I see superhero movies and I'm not a hater, but to me, it's like, okay, it's just a matter until the good guys win. But with Batman, because he's dark, I mean, I also just grew up, to me, Batman just, that's why I'm like, to me, it's like, I don't even like, people like, I don't even like superheroes. I like Batman. I like
Yeah.
Batman. I've always loved him, and he just scratches that itch.
Yeah.
No, and that's why I loved, like, I genuinely enjoyed, like, if you love Batman, how can you read?
Nolanite, huh? Somebody's a Nolanite.
I think all three of us are. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, but like, like reading this book, it's like, unless like, I don't read comics, but like, I love Batman. So like, I'm just thoroughly enjoying this story. It's a really cool, awesome story. And then like before, I don't even have a chance to get bored. Second, I'm like, okay, it's Falcone. And all of a sudden, like, oh, the Riddler. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, the Catwoman's fighting Poison Ivy. Whoa, that's really cool. You're like, there's so many, just like that's what I'm saying. That's why there's so much to play with, and they go, let's play with all of it. And that's this to me. That's what this story is. And I guess reading, I go, I get why. I'm like, I totally get why everyone loves this book. I totally get it.
So when Tim Sheridan was on last year, so the Riddler issue that you talked about, the April Fool's one, where
Mhm.
then, by the issue's end, there's, the Holiday shoots all around like an imprint of Riddler but doesn't kill him.
Yeah.
There
That was a curveball.
was Sheridan wrote a short. So I think, did you watch the Catwoman short accompanied to Year One? There's like a 10
I,
or 15-minute short cartoon that was Catwoman from Year One into that. No, okay.
I'm
You
not,
might
I'm
have
not having
asked
deja.
me.
I'm
did,
not having
yeah,
deja
I
vu,
did.
so I'm gonna assume I did not watch it.
You say you haven't, Pete?
No, I have. I've seen it.
You
It's
have,
great.
okay. So, a lot of what they used to do for these DC animated movies was they would include short films with them of another character, and
Like
they
a
were
prologue or
awesome.
something, or just a side dish.
No, unrelated, just like a short story,
Like
like
a fun little thing. Okay.
Featuring
Yeah,
Elijah Dushku as
Oh,
Yes.
there you go. Wow, from True. She was. I always forget she's a little girl in True Lies.
that's right. Yeah. So attached to Year One is the Catwoman one. So Catwoman from Year One, it's her own little side story, and
Okay.
it's awesome.
In the
I
Year One,
forget
like
which.
universe or context or whatever.
I'm sorry.
Or is it completely independent, or is like in like Catwoman in like the context of Year One world?
In the context of Year One world.
Cool,
But it's
but
not like
it's a solo thing.
it's its own story, but it's in, that
It's
that
it's
world,
Holly Berry, obviously.
clearly.
Shut up.
And I forget which
Sorry.
movie had the green, maybe it was Doomsday or Superman Batman Doomsday, that had the Green Arrow short. And I thought that one was pretty damn
That one
fun
was
too.
good
But
too. I enjoyed that.
but Sheridan, he wrote the April Fool's issue, and he did for the short, and they just like they wouldn't budget it to create it, and then he yeah, he allowed me to read it, and it was,
Oh.
I'm like, God damn it, it would have been awesome. It'd have been an awesome thing.
Was Uxas in it?
Well,
I
they
don't wanna
wouldn't even
spoil
like.
that for you, Pete.
Well, they wouldn't even do it like you wouldn't even like release as a comic book. Like I'm confused. What do you mean? They wouldn't just.
they wouldn't create. So for the movie, sorry.
Okay.
So because
For the movie. Okay.
yeah, in the movie, it does. I think it's like it does go through at the beginning of part two, and it kind of moves through really quick, almost montage ish. And yeah, April Fool's Day, they don't do what they do in the book, and have Riddler explaining all this. And Sheridan had actually written that as a short, animated short, as like a bonus feature deal.
I see now.
And it'd have been awesome if they would have done that. So,
Totally.
the Calendar Man aspect. As soon as that happened, did you instantly think, "Oh, Hannibal Lecter"?
100%. And 100%. But like, to me, like, to me, that just, I love that always just works for me. It's I guess it's a cliche you can say, but like honestly, it's a cliche that works. I mean, detectives tend to detect. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like I actually am one of those people. Not that it matters. I think that scene with the Joker should have been left in the Batman. I think that scene was really cool and would have made the movie better. I just, to me, it's like, that's just, if I watch that, it's a well done scene. It's 5 minutes. I'm like, I know the movie's 3 hours, but like, to me, it's like, to me, that was really cool. And and it works for me. Also,
you should talk to Kowalski because he hates it.
Oh, well, I know he loves the Batmobile. It's a bad muscle car. Anyway, whatever. But,
Exactly.
anyway, but what was I going to say? One thing I want to say, I can't believe I haven't said this yet. And both of you can contest, especially Laura. Another reason why I love this. There's so much to say. I love holidays, and I love the fact, and I love like organization. I love like, so this
decor.
This whole foundation for a story. Like it's really great. Honestly, like I knew I'd like it, but I definitely liked it even way more than I thought I would. Like I was like, this is like, there's just so many little treats I love. I go, I almost feel like it was written for me. Like anytime there's a holiday, like I'll just text people that. And I just think I just love holidays. To me, it's an excuse to have a little, and obviously some holidays are bigger than others. But anyway, at first, it's funny. It took me. I had to figure out when it said like Roman holiday in August or something. I was like, what is the Roman holiday? I didn't realize I was like, oh, it's his birthday or whatever. I went over my head. I go, I don't know about this Roman holiday. I want to learn about this thing. I thought it was some kind of like I don't know, like unpopular holiday, like I didn't know when Juneteenth was 5 years ago. Now I have off work for it and I'm very happy about that. But it's like, oh, is this like a holiday I didn't know about? And then, but turns out it's like, oh, it's not a real holiday.
Mm-hmm.
But I love holiday.
Roman holiday.
And I thought, I also love, so real quick, I want to ask, I dug how weird and creepy Calendar Man is. I loved him.
You like that?
What's his I don't know much about him. Like, where did he come from? Was he like, was he 80s? Where did he come from? Like, I don't know much about him. Like, I want to, like, what's his quick background?
I feel like my first introduction to Calendar Man was the story.
Same.
Really?
Yep.
You know what character I love? It made me think of just like the anal OCD. I was like the Clock King. I love
Clock
that. I love him. And that episode of Batman series. Like, that is such a cool villain. I would love to see that in real life or whatever. I would love to see that.
I've always wanted Mad Hatter.
Really?
Yes. Oh my God. Mad Hatter could be such a cool cold open of like an abandoned amusement park, and like a section of an amusement park is so Alice in Wonderland or something. Like, that's just ingrained in my head of like, that would be so cool to see like in live action.
Yeah, I dig Mad Hatter, don't get me wrong. I dig them all except for, but I like Clock King a lot. I love characters as like I love how I think of Batman villains are always just like
Lauer loves Egghead.
Oh yeah,
Vincent Price Egghead. Oh my God, excellent.
Or Clint Eastwood. Wasn't Clint Eastwood supposed to play Two-Face or something like that? And the
Shatner.
60s. It's Shatner? I thought it was Clint Eastwood supposed to play him in the 60s one.
Wait, was Shatner supposed to play Two-Face? I thought
it was a rumor. It never happened.
Correct.
But there, it doesn't matter. It was literally it's under almost 60 years ago. But
you know who should be Egghead? Holzman.
Guys, next year is the 60th anniversary of 60s Batman.
Oh, I'm very aware.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's funny because the reason of growing up is like I dodged between Batman 89 as like a 4 or 5 year old, and then when I got sick of 89, like, which I never did, but the rare time I did, I was like, I'd watch 60s Batman, either the episodes of the movie, and I just toggled between the two, and then animated series came, and I was like,
amazing.
Exactly. I was like, just when I thought I couldn't love Batman anymore, like I would run home to watch it. It was always good. That's what always blew my mind. I'm like, wow, every episode, the worst episode was amazing. Like, that's what it was like. It was just the perfect. We're the perfect. Oh, you're wearing the shirt. Oh yeah, it was a perfect. Are we all 86ers?
I guess so.
I mean, if you are, then yes.
Well, I'm born 86.
All right. Well, then there we go.
That's so funny. We're all born the same year. That says so much about us.
It
There we
does.
go.
Three of a kind.
Yeah.
So let's see, Calendar Man. Pete, anything to bring up that we hadn't touched on? In picking the
No.
brain of him. With
The only way this story could have got better was if they added Robin, and you just have to wait till the next one. That's
true.
it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like I like Dark Victory as much as like for me, I like Dark Victory as much as Long Halloween. Like they're almost like one big story to me, you know.
I can't read Long Halloween and then not read Dark Victory. If not immediately, then really soon after.
Yeah.
Because they are such a package deal.
And like,
you know, and then year one, Long Halloween, Dark Victory is such a trilogy of like the best Batman trilogy.
I don't know, like the end of Dark Victory when it basically turns into the Batman Battle Royale.
Yeah.
You know, Batman Robin versus everyone. It's just like absolutely incredible. I love it so much.
Peter got me 3. What were the two ones you bought me? Just
I bought you Haunted Night, Long Halloween, and Dark Victory. So you have all 3.
And which one's before? What's the order? Is Long Halloween's in the middle, right?
Haunted. I think it probably goes Haunted Night, Long Halloween, Dark Victory.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. And so you didn't read Haunted Night yet, right?
First of all, I didn't own because I almost was about to like, wow, it's $3, that's a lot. But I was like, I reached out to like, no, we're just Long Halloween. I was like, whew, and I just got instantly confident. And I was like, oh, cool, I'll save these bad boys for the future.
Haunted Night, I think, is a very quick read. Unlike unlike Dark Victory and Long Halloween, that takes time. But I think Haunted Night, you just breeze right through it. To be honest.
Yeah, there'll be Andy, we'll have to talk in the future about
some great Oswald in that one.
Oh, I love
this comic book.
It was funny because one quick Oswald thing was funny to me because in the movie and in the book, it's like literally a frame of Penguin. But you know what? I'll take a frame of Penguin. I love Penguin so much.
Yeah,
and
I always like Sales Penguin.
Yeah,
I love.
It was kind of DeVito-esque, like short and trolly and ugly, but like at the same time kind of adorable in a disgusting way.
He's like
has more to play him.
No, well, Mikey. I think Mikey's like lovable yet disgusting, right, Luca?
Your brother, you mean? Oh,
yeah.
No, your brother is Solomon Grundy. He's tall, he's big. He's like, Mikey was born on a Monday.
Oh, look, Batman made me dinner.
Oh no. That's. I mean, we can split. I mean, Mikey's I don't know a lot of things, but he's. I see Mikey. I see Solomon Grundy. Just like, what'd you say? What is like a lot of like your head tilts.
It's awesome.
But I will say one quick thing I mentioned earlier, but I actually. I guess that's like I don't know. I love Poison Ivy, and I loved seeing them having Catwoman fight. I thought this was a great Catwoman. So I just loved Catwoman. I mean, Catwoman. There's so many great.
What do you think of the design?
I liked all the designs. In fact, actually, I'm starting to be all over the place now. But just we're talking villains. Fine. I thought what I liked about this Joker was like he was scary. Not like like he's scary. Like it was one of those things of like what it was. It was scary because he's always funny. But he was like scared when he like thinking like like in Dark Knight when he like kills breaks the pool tables, and you're like you just think about like how vicious like your mind starts playing like that's
it's like grim. Scarface. You don't see him with kill the guy with the chainsaw. You just hear it. Like
that's
you don't
exactly.
See
or when he cut like Reservoir Dogs, you don't see him cut the ear off. But like
yes.
So it's like he just him showing up and things. He just seems really evil and just wants to kill people. And like he's a complete psychopath. And
I love that design myself. Just the teeth. Like I know I warned you about it, but like I don't know. There's something about Sales design. Like his Scarecrow, by the way, is probably like the definitive Scarecrow. Like awesome. For me, like if I
did he create the horse? Has the horse always been there?
A horse is definitely a thing from this. In my opinion.
From that,
yeah.
Okay.
Like, cool. My favorite Scarecrows are probably the long haul, the Loeb Sale Scarecrow. And then let's say the Batman New Adventures Scarecrow, followed by probably Nolan. Like those are like my favorite Scarecrow looks.
Yeah, I always wanted, this is stupid, and this is a total nitpick, and this is one of those dorky nitpicks. I always wanted, I think, Scarecrow and Batman Begins gets the mask and the horse, but like I don't know, I wanted him to have got like a little more. I don't know. That's the
Wizard of Oz.
I don't know, but that would have worked. I don't know. It's like silly. It's like making like on Dark Knight Rises. Could she say Catwoman? It's like no, I don't need. It's I take it back as I say it. I'm like, it just doesn't fit that world. Like, it's fine. I just,
So
it's just one of,
I've been playing The Long Halloween on my iPad while we've been recording, and
Oh,
the
what?
part that it's at right now,
Oh, cool.
The old
shit.
Scarecrow part, which is I think is freaking awesome part of the movie.
Yeah, Scarecrow's pretty great. And I mean, especially here, like I like, and like when him and Mad Hatter are like chilling, like Bill and Ted.
Yeah,
And they're like,
like Bill and Ted.
I
yeah,
always loved how they like came out of nowhere.
I don't know. It's
Yeah,
like they're riding together, but
we
they kind
ride
of seem like a
together,
good
we
pair.
die together, bad boys for life.
Yeah, yeah, they're no, but I'm trying to the only like villain off the top of my head is like Mr. Freeze. Is it not like I'm trying to think who's like not in this.
Bane,
And
right?
Raj Al Ghul, I guess, is not in it. But you get a
Which is
frame
fine.
of yeah, of course, you can't have every single one. I mean, at that point, you're just getting greedy. And
Stop being greedy.
we're getting SOG Peter Verra is coming out. Yeah.
Hopefully.
No, I don't know, but and I like Doug. To me, if anything, it's just fun because it's like almost like I feel like if I wouldn't be surprised if Lowers had done this, but I feel like you can make bullet points of everything interesting or cool or fun or awesome about this. And there's like probably it'd be a gigantic scroll because it's like you get all bunch of villains, but also get an awesome Harvey Dent, origin story, and so you got a great Batman and Catwoman being in love and having fun. You get a great little derailment from Poison Ivy. There's so many.
Your
It's
cup
just-
runneth over. I don't
Yes.
think if anybody's disappointed of like who wasn't included by the end is like, well, you're just kind of being a greedy dick now
It's
because
just
there's more
yeah.
than enough.
It would just be
included.
checklisty. It'd be like, where's Mr. Freeze?
Yeah. So it's yeah, I think it's a great balance. Like kind of as you've said too, of like you almost don't catch your breath because there's nothing boring because you're constantly in this rotation of almost like one of the big mob guys, Batman, Harvey Dent, Gordon, one of the villains, mob guy, Batman, like
Yeah.
constantly, and it's just moving.
Yeah, no, it is. Well, also too, if they were just flicking them out there, but the thing is, it works as an overall story. Like that's why
Yeah.
it works because there's a lot in there, but it's all part of something that and like they all like even though like okay, in a weird way, like oh, Poison Ivy comes from left field, but she comes from left field for a reason because she's enlisted to help Falcone. So that's a clever. They have clever ways of getting them all involved, and I don't know, it's just awesome. I don't know how to put it. It's just, but yeah, it's just like I said, they just keep going. It's just, we're all here for it. I mean, it's just, no, here, I actually had a question. Now, I just have context. Now, what's like the longest, what's the shortest, and like, what is the average? Like, okay, so Batman Year One's what, 4 issues, right?
Yeah.
And then Long Halloween's 13 issues. Like, is it literally like there's no like what's like the average ish? Like, is there a lot of comic books that there's one issue? Like I don't know how does that. What's the quick?
Yeah.
Like
It all depends. Like so, like 3, 5, whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Now
almost say these single issue stories. Would you say late '90s, Pete? They stopped.
They just
It
became
started.
a lot
Arcs
more
became more
rare.
common. Yeah. So arcs of like 3 issues, 4 issues started to become more common. I think for reader retention and series
Well, now
like
delays
this.
are common.
Yeah. Series of books like this, I don't know. There's quite a range anymore. I don't think you can just sit and say it's definitely one thing. Because this is 13 issues, but yeah, issue number 1 and issue number 13 are double size. So it's like technically it's 15 issues of comics in
okay.
one, like
Yeah, I don't know this world.
in Dark Victory, the next book was
Mhm.
the same thing. Year 1 was 4 issues. But
Mhm.
but you couldn't just read one of those and be, oh, I got a story beginning to end, done. You have to read all 4 issues for that. So
Mhm. Yeah.
if you read the other 2 books that Pete got you, Hunt
Mhm.
Night and Dark Victory,
Mhm.
and then you say, I'm done reading Batman comics, I'd say that's fine.
Mhm.
You read
I don't know if I'd recommend Dark Knight Returns to you.
You always say that. Is that just, ever or just why? I mean, I know enough Batman. What's the
It's
reasoning?
dense.
It's
I
just
think
so
it's
dense.
Is it
and,
not? Is it like
to
how
be
long?
honest,
How many issues? Is
knowing
it?
the Batman that you like, I don't even think you necessarily would be like, oh yeah, that's like this Batman story kicks ass. Like I kind of be like, you're right. It was okay. You know, I
I
just
think
like-
you guys could have a nice Sunday night together and watch the movie.
But
Oh,
And
that'd
then
be
that can
great.
be your way of
Yeah.
seeing how he
is it-
feels about it.
It's a little different.
Yeah,
well, but like, isn't that? But isn't that like a huge beloved book?
it is.
Yeah.
So, but is it polarizing, or I thought it was just beloved?
I mean, it definitely has like a little bit of a renaissance here, but like I very rarely come across anybody who's just like has issues with it.
Yeah. So the one, that's why I'm curious why you'd be like,
But
I mean,
like it's but like I don't know, like I feel like it's something that like it's like hardcore fans read. Like you got to be a real comic book fan to read it. I don't think anybody really outside of the comic book world
sure.
is
Now
talking about
is that
Dark Knight
because it's
Returns.
confusing, or it's alternative takes big like it takes big swings? So it's not the one with he has like a tank.
all
he's
the
jacked-
above, like all the above.
Okay.
It's great. It's like, dude, he's
How many
hacking.
issues? How many issues is Dark Knight Returns?
Like
4
or
double
5?
sized.
Yeah,
So it's like 8.
big.
So like
Yeah.
8 probably. But I mean
Okay.
like the guy Frank Miller who wrote it,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
did
yeah.
year 1. Okay.
Yes, that I know. Yes.
It is like there's some pages where there's a lot of words. A
Wow.
lot of talking heads and stuff too, which is where the denseness comes in.
Mhm.
And also the
Art's very
masterpiece
unique.
known as Batman vs Superman. Batman's interpretation of that movie was heavily influenced by
Yeah,
Dark Knight Returns
isn't like the
Batman.
evil, like kind of old. But isn't that like oh yeah, like from what I think I know about that Batman is like that like kind of like moody, old, washed up, like bloated Batman,
Not bloated.
or like
Older,
jacked, or
yes.
like older, just like it's like big. He's big
Older
though. It's like
jacked.
wide. I always think of him as like wide Batman.
That's more like the stylistic take, but yeah, he's definitely more broad-shouldered Batman.
Yeah.
I understand. Like, I think the point that you're kind of making in your questions, Andy, I totally agree with Pete, and I can't necessarily explain specifics on why.
Sure.
Like, no, I'm with Pete on like I don't know that I would recommend that one to you. I think you'd have to start reading more and get much more into comic book reading to read that one, and not because of like the let me push my glasses up. You wouldn't get it, Andy. It's like no, it's just I think the two that you've read are ones that I could read to non-comic book readers.
Yeah.
And be
Yeah.
like, read this, it's good. Like this is
I-
good
yeah.
Batman stuff, and that would be one. I'm like, I don't know. I think I don't know.
Is it because it's like is it because the story is just not classic, or because the plot's just like hard to follow, and only like a hardcore comic book dork, if you will, would be able to follow it?
Not that. I don't think either of those. It's hard to explain. I think
Oh,
it's just
that's
kind of hard
funny.
to explain. It's just yeah.
It's its
I
own
think the-
animal.
That's
the
funny.
think
All I know
the
is that like he has a tank at
density,
one point. Doesn't he have like a tank Batman?
Yeah.
Does he have a Batmobile tank? Yeah.
and he fights a dude with really sharp nipples.
Well, isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how like Frank Miller did like he did a complete classic, timeless origin story, and then did this crazy alternative, big crazy swing too.
Yes.
Like pretty close together too, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty. That's
And
pretty cool.
in opposite order.
Oh, he did
So
Dark
he
Knight
did
Returns.
the big one first, and then
That's so he did Dark. So year one came after.
yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I love the
always-
classics.
You know this. Unless there's any other points you want to bring up, I like to ask a couple
Yeah.
favorites questions.
Yes, you've got a question?
So
I only-
the one,
Yeah.
and Pete, you're going to be involved in this too, because I've never
Whoa.
asked you these questions.
Right.
Like,
Andy,
what
what
New
was
York
your-
Yankee? No.
What was your favorite part of The Long Halloween? Now we're talking the book, not the movie, even though a lot of the
Man.
movie is pretty much directly lifted from the book. He's
That's
thinking.
tough. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
he's
me thinking too now.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm assuming that I'm going to answer these questions as well, right?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Unless you want some time and you want Pete to answer first.
Oh, I thought you were asking Pete and then.
Oh no,
me.
I'm asking you, Andy.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Oh man, you're on the clock now.
Oh, oof, that is so tough to say. My favorite part. You're saying favorite moment.
Yeah,
It's like-
however,
it's like-
however you interpret that question.
Like I'm gonna think this out loud because it's like I know this is very once again ice cold take. I love Batman Year One. I love the bats coming, and that's just such a cool
Yeah.
moment, right?
Yeah.
But that's like
Mhm.
it's like yeah, no joke. Like it's like yeah, join the club. But I guess
It doesn't
I'm trying-
matter. That's fine.
No, I know, but I'm trying to think like now that way now if I were to pull up Long Halloween. Let's see what part got me really jazzed. I know there's a part that got me really jazzed. Um, no, it wasn't I think it was. Listen, I love Two-Face getting acid thrown in his face in the courtroom. Something about it is just so dramatic. I
Yeah.
love that origin story, but that's not my favorite part. That's not my favorite. Um, uh, what would have been? It's really bothering me. I think. All right, you know what part got me kind of jazzed? I might have my answer might be different, like in the future, but
Yeah.
I actually really loved it when Catwoman fights Poison Ivy because just because because in a weird way, it's like if it's a fun moment, you got two female villains fighting, then but you also have the reasons why. Okay, so Poison Ivy's hired by Falcone to try to like get him to the whatever it's Bruce. I guess Bruce Wayne did the money or whatever. So that has to do with the central plot. Okay. Also, Selena Kyle and Batman and Bruce Wayne are in love. They're hot and heavy, but also so is Batman and the Catwoman. So Catwoman being jealous and fighting. Like there's a good. I like the motives. The fight's just not just happening for no reason. There's a narrative behind that fight. Plus, it's just on a shallow level. It's fun to see them fight. I didn't know they fought, and that was fun for me to see. As someone who likes both those characters a lot, it was cool to see them fight, and it was cool to see them fight for the reasons. Poison Ivy's like, hey, I'm just here to do a job. I'm really, like I'm doing it very well. And now who's this girl? Or like, what's up here? And like, she gets, so I guess that's gonna be once again, like if I thought about it 5 hours from now, might be different, but like I have to answer the question, I'm going to say that I really enjoyed that. That's fun for me. It was fun from watching the movie.
Cool.
And it was fun to read the book too. I was like, it's just, to me, it's like, it's one of those like, oh moments, like, oh
Yeah.
snap, so that's my answer. Yeah. I'll say that.
That answer.
I
Pete?
want to know yours, by the way, whenever you want.
I mean,
Okay, cool.
I feel like it changes every time I read the book.
Right? I have no
Like-
idea what I said 251 episodes ago. I have no
So,
idea
like
what I
right
told
now,
Wilson.
it's like when Two-Face meets Grundy in the sewers. Like that's
That's funny.
that's yeah. Like I enjoy
Corey meeting Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
Corey.
God.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I don't know. Like I really enjoyed.
I knew we
that.
were going to
I
have a
don't
good time tonight.
know. Oh God.
thing.
But that and like obviously the first Batman Catwoman fight is always like great, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
the trifecta shot from Dark Knight, like that's
Yeah.
always like a great part. Anytime Calendar Man's
Oh.
featured, like he's a lot of fun. So I mean, like it's just the Joker, like it's just
Yeah.
crazy. Like
So many.
every time it's like, okay, well, what stands out the most this read?
Peter, Joker comes off the bench and did 20 points in like 3 minutes.
It's so crazy.
It's amazing.
Love
Like,
when
hey,
he's,
Joker, you
flying
wanna-
the
you wanna get
plane
up?
and Batman's hanging over him.
Yeah, and that's cool. And I'm always a sucker too for like, okay, we listen, I grew up in '89 and we love if Joker's gonna gas everyone in Gotham City and Batman's not, it's like we're always here for that. I'm always here for Joker trying to gas everybody.
Yes.
I always want to end up saying the big fight in Falcone's office at the end. Maybe I said that.
I sent that picture of
when
all
I
the
talked
villains.
about when I talked
I mean,
about
I love
this,
that.
I think there is something that I always love with the three of them on the rooftop.
Of course.
From Gordon
so
and Dent
classic.
to
It's like-
then
yeah.
that panel of Batman standing in front of the signal and he's like, gentlemen, like that panel's freaking awesome. And
That's
then,
really cool.
And then when you turn the page, like, because they're saying so much, and it's like this is almost a conversation, like to think of it more dramatically. And then of course the three of them shot, but it's like to think of it dramatically. It's like this conversation is so important to the history of Batman.
Until it makes
Because
sense.
it all changes after this
Sure.
by what they go up against, and then that's why I think with the Dark Knight, I can always hear it. Oldman as Gordon be like, "We're going
Who's
after
yelling?
the mob's life savings.
Yeah.
This will get ugly. Things will get ugly."
Yeah.
And the
Love it.
whole like bats and like agreed all that with this shit, and it's just like, oh man, everything changes with Batman after this.
Yeah.
So I love that moment, but I'm with both of you of just like I don't know, it's gonna change tomorrow. It'll change the next day
Yeah.
because there's so many good parts.
But remember, both of you, the bat signal is not a beeper.
Oh, thank God. Woo, this is the prime time where he could have said that.
Mhm.
Bat signal's not
Dr.
a
Chase
beeper.
Meridian, baby.
Harvey. And then maybe a more difficult question, Andy, if you're
Okay.
prepared. What's your favorite panel?
Oh.
So that can range, obviously,
See, that
of
changes over
like
time,
a
too.
little corner, a little
No,
small
yeah.
one, or if it's a whole page, or if it's a larger one, or if it's 2 pages, all that counts. What's your favorite panel?
Um, that Batson one you saw is pretty cool. But you know what? I'm gonna. I wish I mentioned Calamari and stuff because I loved I let that count. I want to know more about him. He is fascinating. But I will say, I'm gonna answer your question. My answer will probably change in the future because I'm on the spot. But I'm gonna give my answer. That first panel of him saying I believe in God Falcon saying I believe in Gotham City. I literally read that and I go, I cannot wait to read this book. And like that's usually the opposite when it comes to me with comic books. I can read, I do read. I just don't enjoy reading. So my free time I don't go to I will read articles like that. Like I actually I love reading Wikipedia stuff, but when it comes to like I just as a boy I look like I love comic books, but
Mhm.
I just never got into them. And
Mhm.
um anyway, but so the idea I pick up a book it could be one of my favorite topics, but like, oh, I gotta sit down and read. I'm just like it just I get the way my brain goes, I just kind of go, but opening that page and seeing that, and I was just like, oh, I just the fact that I literally was one page in, I just was like, I not only am I going to read this, I want to read this. I cannot wait. That's why it's my answer is because I love The Godfather. It just, I'm like, I have to read this book now because I know this is written for dorks like me. People love Batman. People love The Godfather. So like, it was like, man, like if I was like like, Joaquin Phoenix in a Gladiator, I have to give thumbs up, thumbs down of like, you only have one panel. Do you keep this? Do you keep going? Like, what's it gonna be? If they show me that, I'm giving the thumbs up. And so I'm gonna pick that one. Yeah.
Okay. Peter.
For me, I mean, I mentioned it earlier. I mean, I can't get this image out of my head. It's Batman telling Joker to land the plane, and he's hanging
Oh,
upside
cool.
down. Like,
Yeah,
It's
it's
a great
fun.
one.
I just
That's
like
fun.
it's just
It's fun.
it's perfect. It's just it encapsulates. It just sums up Batman, right? Like everything about Batman. So it's just I love
Anytime
that.
Joker and Batman's face are close together, it's just
Yeah.
when are you not happy? Period. When are you not happy?
I
I
wish I was
think
that close with Eric Holzman.
Yeah, you're like, oh, why do they keep?
you can be.
It's not
What's stopping
funny.
you?
Why do they
What's
keep
stopping
bringing? It's not funny. It's so stupid. It's not. It's a waste of my time.
Everyone loves Holzman. We love Holzman. Like
We
the
know,
people
we know,
ask us to talk
you know, we
Holzman.
love Holtzman because we're all goofs, and he's like, "You guys need to relax." That's why we love Holtzman.
Holzman.
Holtzman is a straight man to all of our. He's the David Spade to our Chris Farley. He's always like, "You guys need to relax." That's why that's what it is.
And he'll never hear this.
He'll never.
So,
He's like I'm sure you brought me up. I've been brought up on our podcast before.
His ears are ringing right now.
If
Yeah,
I
he's like,
listened to every
why?
podcast that talks about me, I couldn't live my life.
Eric
If
Holzman.
he
Holzman.
if he did listen to this though, he would be. I don't know if he'd be laughing or annoyed. Either way, I'm happy. I don't know if he'd be enjoying this or hating this, but like, hey, it's all
Listen to
good.
Straight Out of Gotham. Eric
SOG.
Holzman. He'll give his thoughts on this podcast on the next Straight Out of Gotham podcast.
Or
There
maybe
you
he'll
go.
do a car review.
Ooh,
A
car
car-
review
I
on
listened
the
to the
Batman Book Club.
podcast.
Oh my god, I love it.
I would
All
like. He'd
right,
be like, I listened to the podcast. I usually don't do this, but you know what? Like, they brought me up. I feel like I need to address it.
I went to confession on Sunday, and I just felt like I have to listen to the Batman Book Club.
I'm assuming
My-
everyone knows who he is. That's Peter's co-host on his podcast.
Of course they know.
Yeah, everyone knows Holzman.
All right, sorry. I don't know.
So
I
I'm pretty
had a radio
sure-
moment.
I would bet money that I go back to episode 2 with Eric Holzman, and I said my favorite panel was this, and it remains the trick or treat, all the villains in
Oh, yeah,
Falcone's
that's-
office
you know
at
what?
the end.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a
how
money
does
shot
that love
to
it?
me.
It's
That's
like
got,
such a
I
definitive
literally
picture.
sent you that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
sent you that picture. I should have. You know what?
Yep.
That's
I didn't want to
prob-
say anything because it was
that's-
like, oh, Andy, this is coming up.
You know what?
I'm
That's my
talking
number.
about this.
That's my number 2. I'm saying my number 1 because that's a personal one. But that, I mean, I open that. Anyone, it's like similar to like Joker and Batman's head together. It's like you see all those villains and knowing the story behind it, you're like,
Yeah.
all right, let's party. Let's go.
Gimme.
Let's
Gimme.
go. Yeah.
I
Yes.
like it.
That's,
I like
that's
it.
great.
I
That's
like
perfect
it.
answer.
I love it. Holzman, more of it.
Yeah. Usually my next question, Andy, is would you like to see this story adapted in animation? It already has been, in which I'd ask your thoughts, but we've already talked your thoughts.
That was great. Loved it.
And you had a good time with that. So that kind of
Well,
that
I
kinda
think, Lauer, the
wraps-
real question is, when are we getting Dark Victory and Haunted Night in animation?
Tim
That's
Sheridan
the next question.
is ready for it.
What Taylor Sheridan, the guy who created
No,
Yellowstone?
he's got his own Paramount Plus network.
Yeah, I know. Basically, oh my
Tim
God,
Sheridan can do Dark Victory. Okay.
No Man's Land man,
Yeah. No man's.
No Man's Land
No
man.
man's land man. No man's land man. All right, Andy. Do you have anything else you wanna say and get off your chest about the Long Halloween before we wrap it all up?
First off, thank you. Thank you so much. I just I did not expect to be on. I just thought it was like to me, it's like the fact I was ever on your podcast once. I was just flattered because I don't read comics, so I feel like I'm like in my head. I was like, I remember thinking to myself, I would never be on Lauer's podcast. Obviously, it was a year ago, and I was like, well, I'm obviously never gonna be on it ever again.
A
Why would
year
he
ago.
have? Yeah, I was like, why would he ever have me on again? Like he doesn't and it's funny you brought it up because like when you get throw it in the mouth, I'm like, this is actually great because like, you know what? I've heard so much about this story, and you know what? I should just read it, and this gave me a reason to and a motivation
Old Santa Peter came early and was like, "Here you go, birthday boy. I got you a book."
It literally worked out perfectly because you told me like a week or so before my birthday, and then I told Peter, and I was like, I would have got it myself. I'm an adult. I can get a comic book, but then Peter, it made it easy.
It's the kind of man he is.
And unlike Batman Year One, which literally stared at me for a year, 2 or 3 years, if not longer. It was at least two, I think it was 3 years at least before I read it. Literally every day I looked like I gotta read that one day, and I didn't read it. But anyway, no, it's so back what I said in the very beginning. It's a perfect epic Batman story. There's so many great things that we talked about it. I mean, we could talk more, but like there's so much stuff, but it's I loved it. Once again, I went into it been like I've never been like I'm gonna like this. It's Batman. Like I'd be shocked if I don't like this. And not only did I loved it, I liked it more than I thought I would, and I figured it would be great. It's even better than I thought it would be. So like that's like huge to that's it's almost like The Dark Knight. Like me and Pete knew we were gonna love that movie. Like, unless like
this
Chris
summer,
Nolan.
Pete knew he was gonna like the return of Julie James, and I know what you did last summer. He had no idea
Freddie Prinze
how
baby.
much he was gonna end
Oh
up
my
liking.
God.
You know what's funny? Here's the opposite. I do not that movie. I didn't think that was that great, but I had so much fun watching that movie in the movie theater, even though I had a lot of problems with that movie.
Oh, Pete and I have talked quite a bit off mic about that movie.
It's a lot of fun. I will sing one of my favorite moments watching Halloween Ends was my fiance 40 minutes in, who's not a tough critic. She is the easiest. She leans into me 40 minutes into Halloween Ends and goes, "This is terrible." Like
Oddly enough, Mikey did that with the Kristen Wiig Ghostbusters. Movie.
Actually,
He
no,
looked at me,
story.
he was like, "This is horrible." I was
That
like,
is
wow,
the-
for Mikey to say that, I was
You're
like,
right.
"This movie is gonna suck," and it did.
That was the perfect analogy. You and I are usually the tough opinion critics or like particular. You, Mikey and Christian are like, whatever, we had a good time. She was, I never forget. She never does that. She's like, this is terrible, and I laughed out loud.
This 2025, I know what you did last summer is Pete's Halloween Ends.
Yeah, know what? That's a
Is
great.
it? I love it. I really love it.
No, I have problems with it, but I did enjoy. I had a lot of fun watching it. So that's dude. At the end of the movie, when like literally all their friends are dead, and they're like, "Huh, pretty crazy. Let's move on the beach." Like
I'm like,
Let's go
JLH,
party.
baby.
They literally like, you guys are crazy. You guys should be the killers. How could you not be? There's like, they literally were like, I guess we'll get margaritas. Like I was like, everyone died. What's wrong with
I
you?
think they're still in their hospital gowns or whatever too, as they go walking to the beach.
You know what always makes me laugh out loud when they.
I like it more than Scream in New York.
I didn't love that one either. But real quick, I want to say something really quick, this ADD moment. When they pull out, because Lowry loves, you love Scream 2. I always laugh aloud at the very, very, very end of Scream 2 when they pull out and play that cheesy 90s rock music.
Yes.
And they pull out on it's so the tone just shifts. It cracks. I don't know why. It's just like 90s ending.
Did you know? I don't know if it was filmed. Craven wanted to film that Bell Tower is another Ghostface.
Oh, I did not know that.
And I don't know if that shot was it was gonna have it, or they did a take with it or what. But I'm with you on. I thought it was so funny of 90s.
I don't know.
Party
it's
of
just
Five.
The tone.
Music
Yes. Party.
as it ends. Like, woo, yeah.
It's just tone just shifts out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just had to mention that because you know what? It's Halloween. October we watch horror movies, and that's why I wrote
We
it.
do. And this is the long Halloween in October, so it's all connected. Pete,
thank you again.
of course. Yeah, this was
Had
fun.
such a great
Pete, you were kind of just an observer for a lot of this, but I mean,
I had to keep an eye on him. He talks fast.
I know. clearly anything that you could say you've already said to Andy, most likely. But are there any other thoughts on the Long Halloween or something we didn't ask him that you want him to have to say on the mic or anything at all?
It's just so much better than Absolute Batman. It's not even funny.
What I don't know what that is. What's the Absolute Batman?
It's probably the bane of my existence right now.
Is it old or new? That's how ignorant I am. I don't even know what that means.
It's
Absolute
like the
Batman.
newest, latest, hottest Batman title, and I don't understand it. And
okay.
It'd be, dude. I would actually, if you were like, "Oh, I'm into comic books," I'd be like, you know what? I'd pick it up for your birthday. Be like, I'm curious what you think about this thing.
He's like, so Bruce Wayne's non-binary or something?
No, has nothing to do with.
I'm just talking. Don't listen to me. I'm an idiot.
Okay.
Don't listen to me.
So,
No, it's just wild. It's really out there. It's different, but apparently, Pete and I are the only ones that aren't in love with it.
All right, interesting.
I'm more. What do you want to say? I'm closer to liking it than Pete. Pete's nowhere in the universe,
But
of liking it.
But usually the two of you guys don't have the same hot take. That's kind of rare. You guys don't usually, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is an island that is just occupied by Pete and I.
Yeah.
Of like, I don't get the absolute Batman love.
Kowalski's like, it's the greatest Batman story ever told.
actually, he doesn't like it either. So.
Oh wow! All right, cool.
He just
Also, he's
doesn't
a
want him on our
curveball.
island. He has too many other hot takes.
Yeah. He's like, this take means more fire on it. Let's go, boys.
All right. Well, Andy, do you like to plug anybody to follow you on the social media, anything?
I know. I'm on social media. I'm a Pete's friend and your friend. Where I'm your friend.
Okay.
I'm a civilian. I mean, if you,
I'm
I'm
a
a dork.
civilian.
Yeah, I appreciate
I'm a
it.
civilian.
No, I'm a human being who exists.
There you
go. But I've loved Batman as far. Basically, my earliest memories was I go back to loving Batman since I was 4, and form of BOF, Batman on film. I love Batman in movies, and but I also just love Batman. Period. So it was such a pleasure to read these books. Honestly, I look forward to when inspired reading. If you whether it's the other ones, I guess the ones you gave me, but in general, or if
I guess Man Who Laughs would be the next one. Right?
Well, I have never read Killing Joke.
Oh well, there you go.
Well,
you know.
I don't. How long? Well, one, do you find yourself that you're gonna reread The Long Halloween?
Probably not anytime soon, but I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
I don't,
And
but I would read it again. Why not?
Yeah.
It's cool, you know. And there's
Especially
a
now
lot in
you
it.
own it.
I do own
And
it.
then
right?
Dark Victory. How long until you think you'll read the next one? Dark Victory.
I'm gonna give the brutally honest answer, like, because
Yeah.
I know it just whenever there's a motivation to be brutally honest,
Yeah.
like I don't know whether it's like you want to chat about it privately or whatever, or do a show about it, whatever, or in general, or just like in terms of motivation to read it. In fact, actually, the only reason why I haven't read Heat 2 is because it might spoil the movie. That's the only I own it, and I was like, you know what, I love Heat so much, I should probably sit down and start reading it. And the only reason I did is because apparently, you know what, if I read this,
Yeah.
I might spoil the film for me. So because it's actually greenlit, that's the only reason why I haven't. There was a moment where I was like, you know, I own this, read it. What's wrong with you? And then that's now. So I will definitely maybe read it after the fact, but just
Okay.
because I don't want to
Just
have.
curious.
Yeah. No, but
because it is a direct sequel to The Long Halloween, so it's like I don't know if you have an itch of like, well, I want to see what happens next, or if it's like, well, I can wait because I just read a big Batman book and I don't read Batman comics at too.
You know
often,
what?
so.
I might read that at my leisure, just to like, because that's the one with Robin appears in that one, correct?
Correct.
And I love Robin. Who doesn't love? Well, I shouldn't say who doesn't love Robin, but I love
Bill,
Robin.
We know.
he's crazy. Bill hates Robin. He's absolutely
He's a
insane.
boy.
We know who doesn't love Batman.
Bill's
He's a boy.
absolutely insane.
He's a boy among men. No, I don't know. Guys, actually, are we only supposed to talk about Batman Part 2 this podcast?
No, because we already
Okay.
talked about Batman Returns, which is Bill's favorite, BBS, his other favorite,
Zack
Batman
Snyder's
Forever,
Justice League.
Batman
yeah.
and Robin. Oh my God, we talked about. I think we may have mentioned every Batman movie, and then you said
Yeah.
Batman 66.
Mhm.
But yeah, I
No.
think in this conversation we talked about every single Batman movie.
I think,
Good
yeah.
for us organically.
Yeah. Unless you do you count Suicide Squad?
No.
Okay. Then we did it. Then we did.
Okay, go us! Hooray!
Well done.
Pete,
Can't thank you
do
enough.
you want to plug?
You know where to find me.
Yankee
At
Stadium.
E33.
Yes, that's it.
Why does everyone keep this? Is not funny. God, it's so stupid. You guys need to grow up.
At Pete Illustrated on the social media stuff. There you go. He has
Uxus
he has-
are us.
He has so many followers. He's not even plugging his stuff anymore. He's like, I just can't afford more
I'm
followers.
on this show. Everyone knows where I am.
Oh.
Well,
no,
if I
no,
did that, well, then this could be someone's very first podcast episode of the Batman Book Club, Pete.
Well, then I encourage them to listen to another one where I do plug myself.
Oh, okay.
But I will
Excellent.
say, as being Austin Powers fans, I can't believe I haven't said to the BBC.
To the BBC! BBC One! BBC Two!
All right, here we go.
Pete, that happens.
You love
a
Austin.
lot
Don't be
also
cool,
in
Peter.
Texas.
You love Austin Powers. Don't be too cool for school.
Don't be too cool for Austin Powers.
I don't love it as much as some people. I do enjoy it.
Okay, by that alone, you definitely
Cool guy,
don't
I
love it as much as Andy and I do.
I love, especially the first one. I love the first one especially. They're all good, but I love the first one.
All right, for this show, follow on the social media stuff at the Batman BC for latest episode drops, upcoming episodes, and sometimes some giveaways. Subscribe to the Batman Book Club YouTube channel because Peter, Verra, and I, that guy right there that doesn't like to plug his own stuff, he's so modest. We are going to be talking more No Man's Land. We've already talked a little No Man's Land. We talked Road to No Man's Land. We're going to have more of that coming up. If you want to support the show, variety of ways you can do it. Patreon.com/TheBatmanBC. TeePublic.com. Type in TBBC for the Batman Book Club. But if you don't want to spend any money at all, it's 100% A-OK. Easiest, quickest, most impactful thing that you can do to help this show right here is rate and review it. So however you listen to the show, Apple, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon, iHeartRadio, go to the rate and review page and rate and review the show. The more reviews this show gets, the more it helps spread the word. And as you, me, and Andy all know, that word is panic. So, for these two gentlemen right here, I am Ryan Lauer. And until next time, read The Long Halloween again.